right, everyone. Can you hear me now? Hit 1 if you can hear me. Hit 2 if you can't. And like the stream if you're watching right now. We have a lot of people in stream and a lot of people here. Oh, wow. Good. Now let me adjust that volume real quick. There we go. Is this a good sound balance? Hit 1 if yes. Hit 2 if no. Hit 6, 7 if you just want to hear me read the phone book to you in this kind of voice. And hit the like button either way. Wow, a few of you really want me to read the phone book. Wow, okay. That's a choice, I guess. Some of you all just can't decide. Yes, I know. I'm sorry for the Gen Z meme. We'll come right back with a very different meme on screen in 5 seconds. Everyone get comfy. We'll be here for quite a while. Now, if you want to hear me talk in such a sultry tone moving forward, that's too bad. I'm done doing that. Want to just give a shout out to some people in chat who I guess that we didn't get recorded here. Rune Dillon, thank you for joining as a reader. Cloud Parade, oh, got another membership right there as well. Cloud Parade, thank you for 12 months. Have you seen Cloud Parade's work? It is quite good. Yay, new stream, and oh my god, 12 months. Yeah, I've been here for a year. Isn't it crazy how fast time goes? My son's 7 months old. It's crazy thinking about that. And, Bermuda Rules. Thank you for remembering for 7 months. Welcome to Anthony Grimolia. And today, we're counting down the best crash outs. Oh god, we kind of are, aren't we? I do love it. But yeah, no. So, let me adjust the camera slightly. I feel like that's not the best of angles. There we go. You see, one thing I love about this chair I stream in is I can just throw my legs up over the arms of the chair and just sit like this, and no one notices. It's fantastic. Right now, my leg is on top of the arm of the chair. I am resting my arm on my leg, not the arm rest, and it's fantastic. I know, this is the kind of content you come here for, right? All right, let me adjust this camera right here. I was having an issue with the camera before. It slipped over. There we go. There we go. Problem is I'm too tall, and this chair didn't go any further down. It's really annoying. Anyway, is the baby saying any words yet? Not yet. Not yet. No clear language yet, unfortunately. You know, Aqua. I figured there was no one better to have on screen for a crash out than Aqua from fucking Konosuba. God, I need to rewatch Konosuba. I love that series. I find it funny with a lot of anime that I love. I tend to watch the same ones over and over again and don't watch new stuff. It's terrible. Though this season is it's good ones. You got at least 2 really good ones. Go for Nakamura and which hat Atelier. I always fuck up the pronunciation of that. Fantastic series. Why is Anthony so homophobic? The question for that is. Yes. Yeah, so this week we've had at least 2 absolutely legendary crash outs. One of which is from a little known channel known as WatchMojo, and another from the absolutely insane, absolutely nutty Quartering. Now, I do want to bring up one thing too that has come up to my attention that I've been getting notifications about. Just a little housekeeping I want to talk about. This upcoming Friday's video will be about Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. And, Atelier. Oh, there we go, thank you.
At 000 Agent 88 super chatted $2. It's pronounced Atelier.
Atelier. Cool, excellent. As everyone who watched my most recent video can tell you, I'm not good at pronunciating names, which is funny because my name's hard to pronounce. Wuthering Heights. Everyone kept saying, oh, I can't take this guy seriously. He keeps saying Withering Heights. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. Wuthering. Wuthering. I can say it eventually correctly. I'll load this a little bit again.
At Olivia_Williams_purple_fairy super chatted $2.03. Daily Wire is crashing too.
Daily Wire's crash out's been different, though. That's been going on for a bit of a while now. It's kind of crazy with Daily Wire. They used to be at the top of their game, and now they've just been falling off a ledge, primarily due to their adherence to Israel and their overuse of their film production company. You know, they overinvested in film when they were a media company. They were making news commentary, basically. And everyone there wanted to LARP as a screenwriter when they didn't make it as a screenwriter. And so when you make a lot of flops, one after the other with a lot of money, you're going to crash out because you're losing cash. Especially if you put all your money into some fancy adaptation that no one actually watches other than those who want to make fun of you for it. It's like, where's the value in that? Where's the monetary value? You're a business, and you're not making money, you know? Speaking of Wuthering Heights, what is your opinion on Emerald Fennell style directing like Saltburn? So I mentioned this in the video, and I made a comment that a lot of people took the wrong way when I compared it with Emerald Fennell to Vivziepop. I stand by that.
Andrew Brown 9981 super chatted $2. Char's counterattack is Char Aznable's crash out.
It is. So, but the thing is, people didn't get what I meant when I said that. They thought I was saying, like, I was contributing to the sexist and homophobic and biphobic and, you know, all that attacks that Vivziepop is reaching. That's not what I'm talking about. The way I compared them is that their storytelling style emphasizes shallow storytelling that covers it up with spectacle. Has-Been Hotel would not be as good if it wasn't for the great animation and good song and catchy song numbers.
At Pragmatic Realist 1 super chatted $5. Didn't the Pendragon Cycle Rise of Merlin do well overall for them, or was it too late for them?
Well, what is okay for them? You know, the problem is you got to consider how relative the cost of it was versus what they got out of it. It could have done okay for their service, but they have all the real numbers. We can't really measure that, right? So we don't really know what they did in terms of audience retention, if they got new subscribers, what have you. But more importantly, we also don't know how much it cost. But let me see if I can find out. I got a lot of stuff here. Vice of Merlin, I almost wrote. Budget. Let's look at the budget here. The budget apparently is... Okay. Here we go. Okay, cool. So let's take a look right here. Daily Hollywood Reporter has this coming out. So this is the source, Hollywood Reporter. Daily Wire's Pendragon Cycle sparks fancy fan debate. Don't pay these losers. Okay. Go away. Cool. Fairly expensive looking swords. No show the catch. These swords for some. Pendragon Cycle. Okay. So producer Jeremy Boring has said the production budget is 7 figures per episode, 8 figures overall for the first season, which makes it the most lavish production in his former company's history. So it is the most expensive thing the Daily Wire has produced. So right when we outlet Daily Wire, Pendragon Cycle, first 2 episodes last week. Efforts to rally viewers against a show or movie for strictly political reasons, particularly reasons for that have nothing to do with the content itself, typically fail so long as the content itself is of high quality. Most viewers are fairly pragmatic, perhaps even ideologically apathetic when it comes to their viewing choices. And again, yeah, that's true. When watching TV, most people do not care about the politics of the creators. They care about what is made for them. For example, the Rocky films and the Rambo films are both made by Sylvester Stallone, who is a conservative man. Rocky is also one of my all-time favorite movies. The original Rocky... What are you doing here? Go away. I got what I need from this. I don't need anything else. I got the idea anyway. So, the Rocky franchise is one of my all-time favorite films. I think they're incredible. Sylvester Stallone's a conservative. The films are conservative. They are not politically aligned with my viewing habits or my beliefs. But the films themselves are fantastic. They're great human stories, so who cares? Now, Daily Wire is a different case because they're a news media outlet, and that pisses more people off. You see, Stallone can say whatever he wants in the privacy of his own life. No one really cares. Daily Wire says what they want, and it's their content. They sell their political opinions. That's their material. So it's more of an uphill battle because their entire brand is alienating people.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $2. Wait, Peacock's making *4 Fast and Furious TV shows?
Wait, they're doing what? Peacock's doing what? Hang on. I have no idea about this. This is news to me. Okay. That's a choice. Fast and Furious TV show series developed in Peacock. Go away, Variety. A series is officially in the works at Peacock. The announcement was made on stage by franchise star Vin Diesel, NBC Universal's upfront presentation in New York on Monday, alongside Tonight Show host Jimmy Fallon. Okay. I know each was right. Donald Langley started shows. Today, Peacock is launching 4 shows in the Fast and Furious franchise universe. Diesel said 4 shows are in the works. An individual with knowledge of the situation confirmed it is in fact only 1. Others are said to be in various stages of development in Universal TV. So they're probably waiting to see how the first show does before they greenlight the rest. They're in development. That means they're in some stage of development. They might not even have writers yet. But that is a choice. 1 is in production. 3 more are in the early phases of work. Now, to draw a comparison, back when Game of Thrones first ended, there were 4 shows in development at HBO, 2 of which have now been made after so many years.
Mark M1575 super chatted $2. TFW Aqua is more useful than the Daily Wire.
Aqua is way more useful than Daily Wire. Daily Wire can't help you. Aqua can at least do fun tricks and be cute. So, yeah, you know what? I think they should end with next film, but 4 film shows, okay. Let's see how that goes. I'm sure there won't be a massive money sink at all. You should go into audiobook reading. I could probably try that. Maybe. Ludacris better get a show. Yeah, I agree. That'd be fun. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Good question here.
At Jaking5688 super chatted $2. King books off coke or during coke?
I'll be honest. Off coke we get the Dark Tower series, right? Which is fantastic. But on coke we get Maximum Overdrive, which is not a book at all. But we also get Cujo. Cujo is one of King's best works. I don't know. That's tricky. Anyway, I do want to bring up one little bit of internal discussion before we move on to the main event. I was informed today, and this is really the last I want to talk with this guy, but it's come up, and it's an allegation about my community, so I want to bring it forward. There was a statement I heard from everyone's favorite left-wing grifter, Oddly Noah, saying that members of my community were sending Noah threats. Now, Noah has lied to my face repeatedly, multiple times for the last several months. So I don't totally believe what he's saying. However, I do want to emphasize, in case he's right and not lying, that under no circumstance should anyone in my community ever threaten Noah, ever send him any threats of any kind. Leave him to ferment in his corner of the internet, where he will hopefully be forgotten and find no one else to ever watch his material. But I don't wish him harm. I wish him irrelevance. But please do not send any threats towards him. Do not harass him. Just let him ferment alone, without any viewers. Anyway, on that note, but I don't really believe that what he's saying is true.
At Otto Johnny super chatted $4.99. Saw the June the King documentary about the quartering. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Agreed. We'll be watching some of that and discussing some more details that have come up since the documentary, as well as my thoughts on all of it. We're going to start with WatchMojo, because that's the shorter of the two stories. And I want to make sure we get the smaller details out of the way first, before jumping into the massive controversy that is the quartering. That is completely shaking up the entire internet. But let's start with WatchMojo. It's a much simpler story. Oh, super chat coming in.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $2. Rob McElhenney. I've had enough of this dude.
Yeah, exactly. I've had enough of this dude. 100%. Yeah, that's how I am with
At
Noah
Andrew
right now.
Brown 9981 super chatted $5. The TKO Group is one of the worst companies ever. They are going turn boxing into the UFC with the Ali Revival Act. They need to be broken up.
100%. It's ridiculous. They're doing just absolutely horrible. Agreed. Okay, so actually one more thing I do want to bring up with the Noah situation. I want to bring up something real quick I noticed too. Just a small thing.
At Racerk45 super chatted $5. I think we can all agree most of the anti-woke are insanely bigoted.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
At Revenovan 300 super chatted $1.99. WatchMojo was Content Farms before Content Farms.
That is untrue. Valnet predates them. And I worked for Valnet. I want to bring up right now just how a lot of grifters are using the Noah situation to avoid talking about quartering. There's a couple things I found I want to bring up real quick that I think are interesting. One of them was from friend of the channel Eric Debunks, who just put out a video just recently. I'm going to just show that briefly, but not in any detail. There you go. Just very... But one thing I want to bring up too is a lot of people have been asking me to respond to the EFAP response to me. We'll get to that eventually, but I want to bring up something real quick about this. Now, EFAP, of course, has had their fun making fun of Noah and have gone after me a couple times. Okay, whatever. But I noticed something real quickly about their channel that's missing, isn't it? They have one about me. They have two about Noah. They have Daredevil, Daredevil again, another me, another Noah, Resident Evil, Little Mermaid, Alien Earth, Mario Galaxy. You know what's one thing that's missing? Project Hail Mary. One thing that's missing, suspiciously enough, is they never mentioned the quartering. And that's kind of odd, isn't it? And just recently, Eric Debunks posted this video real quickly from one of his streams. I want to play it real quick. Just real briefly, no big deal.
So apparently Nerdrotic just accused me of content theft because of Otterly Noah. And we have a clip. Let's watch it. All right, so this is from one of his Nerdrotic Nooners. He was by himself at this point, and he had been talking about all the drama surrounding Chrissy Mayer and Melanie Mack and the quartering. And then in the chat, someone mentions me. But I went back to look. I couldn't see the person that left it. He says the name here. But he's talking about me. And then, oddly enough, he brings up Otterly Noah. Let's watch the whole segment, and then we're going to talk about it.
Albert, not a retro for 5 Canadian pesos. Somebody put Eric Debunks out of our misery, please. Maybe EFAP could do it. It's not anything that's bothering me, but yeah, maybe he'll be on an EFAP. You never know. I think wasn't he involved in the? Not negatively. I want to be fair here. Wasn't he involved in the Otterly Noah situation where Otterly Noah was?
So the point that they're trying to do there is these grifters are trying to use Noah's controversy to distract from the fire going on in their own backyard. Don't get me wrong. Noah's situation sucks. Everyone involved has mud in their face, myself included. But at a certain point, the controversy becomes a distraction. Because the thing with the Noah situation is while Noah continues to make an ass of himself on the internet, everyone who is his peers have kind of moved on past him and pushed him aside. Don't want to talk about him, don't want to be around him. Meanwhile, the quartering stuff is still going on. And yes, Nerdrotic did talk about that beforehand. But it seems very interesting that they're almost using that controversy to kind of take your eyes off of the much bigger explosion going on in their sphere. Because everything that Noah did, quartering also did to some extent. To some extent. Stealing content, they both did that. I don't really think the quartering plagiarized necessarily, but that would imply he wrote scripts at all. He basically just read off of articles the entire time, and that was all of his content. So, basically everyone around Noah is being on target by association with Noah because of Noah's actions. But I want to make sure everyone remembers the biggest people worth criticizing are always those who continue to crash out, who continue to cause problems. And while Noah's now essentially one of the worst things you can do on YouTube, he's also stopped being relevant to a lot of people, especially in his corner. The quartering, however, continues to be relevant. And so that's why the topic of today's discussion will be quartering and not Noah. But I want to point it out right now. Some people are distracting from Noah. So distracted from the quartering, but focusing on Noah. What are they trying to hide? What does the quartering's crash out expose about their side of the table? Well, let's find out. Before we do that, let's look at the legendary crash out of WatchMojo. WatchMojo is, of course, as everyone knows, a very... Let's look at WatchMojo's main channel real quick, actually. Let's bring that up real fast before we watch this video and take a look at the incident involved. WatchMojo.com. Am I still subscribed? I am still subscribed to WatchMojo. Let me change that. Unsubscribe. There we go. Actually, let's do it live. Let's do it live on camera. Let's unsubscribe from WatchMojo live, everyone. Let's a first of its kind, I'm sure. Someone having a WatchMojo. Let's see. You can all see. Unsubscribe, and they're gone. 20 years of WatchMojo down the drain because you couldn't shut the fuck up one day. That's how it is. I know. Based, I know. Anyway, WatchMojo. Go on. They're a channel that has 25 million subscribers. They're one of the biggest commentary channels in terms of just sheer subscriber count, period. They have, in total, 17,958,882,681 views. And this is their main channel. They have several other spin-off channels as well. WatchMojo is a titan on YouTube. A titan of slop. They are the king of the jungle on top of their mountain of garbage that they have created for themselves. They are a doo-doo channel sitting on top of doo-doo, defecating out of their own regurgitated shit that they've devoured themselves and pooped out once more. Between regurgitating old video ideas for the 15th time, they make slop content that ultimately is kind of garbage. And as of late, they've kind of realized that they're garbage. Okay, more Noah questions. Okay.
At Auto Johnny super chatted $4.99. Just saw Noah's channel. Why is he changing his YouTube channel name and icon?
Why is he changing it? Well, because of the embarrassment associated with his account. That being said, he is changing back to his old branding. I think also because Diaz Marionette, who, by the way, really nice, Diaz Marionette. I felt really bad for how Noah abused her and used her as an asset. She is no longer talking to Noah. I think Noah realizes that she does not want him to continue using her art. And thus he has changed the art back to his original icons. But also he's doing it to avoid being associated with the Oddly Noah name, because that brand is poison. However, unlike CD Cal, Lily Orchard, who changed her name so drastically, you might not even realize it's still Lily Orchard, which some people have. I've gotten comments people saying CD Cal, but she's not Lily Orchard. I'm like, no, that's Lily Orchard. Unlike Lily Orchard, Noah decided to rebrand himself not as Oddly Noah, but as, I guess there's no way to really describe this. He's rebranded himself. This is kind of sad, honestly. As Noah the Otter. Still has the Oddly Noah at, but now he's named Noah the Otter, which is not a particularly original branding. Here's his new profile picture. I think that's kind of lame rebranding. Film industry worker who just happens to be neurodivergent. I talk about your favorite films, animated cartoons, and TV shows and video games through a deeper psychological and analytical lens. Okay, look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Let him decay. Let him go away. Has Anthony covered Contra Crash Out? I assume you mean ContraPoints. No, I have not. And not because I don't want to, but because, honestly, I never really watched ContraPoints all that much. So, I've never gelled with ContraPoints' perspective. I've always had issues with some of her approach. And so, seeing this new thing, I'm like, well, it kind of confirms what I've already suspected for a while now.
At Nick Wolf,
But I don't know enough about it to really say
3,885 super chatted $2.
meaningfully.
Real Dan backslide behavior. Number one will ever know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. No one will ever know. Exactly.
At the
So
Salubra
subtle.
Outcast super chatted $3.65. Why is so much drama happening this week? Art fight too. They're getting yelled at by the artists.
Oh, yeah. Art fight was a big thing. I know Crimson Ender, who does all the thumbnail art for my channel, he was in particular pissed about art fight. But I don't do art fight, so I don't know about that specifically. It was rough, apparently. Anyway, so WatchMojo. I want to bring up something real quick right now. You might have picked up on. WatchMojo puts out videos. Let's take a look right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 videos in a day. Okay, 7 videos in a day, roughly. They put out a ton of content consistently and intensely, and their views, they do generally all right for a mid-sized channel, but they're putting out all this content and they're getting 26,000, 18,000, 27,000, 66,000. They're not getting huge numbers, but they are getting SEO value. They're getting that the algorithm connection, but they're not being picked up all that much by the algorithm. They're putting out all this content and they're getting mid to low range numbers. Compared to the pasts, let's look at the biggest, most popular videos. Their most popular video has 99 million views. 90 million, 65 million, 55 million, 54 million, 47 million. These are gigantic numbers. And now, let's go a little bit further, see if I've had some time to develop. 23 greatest female movie villains. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I might click that just because of the Audition reference right here. I do love Audition. Audition is one of the greatest horror films ever made. And Asami is a great villain. Deeply underrated character. If you have not seen Audition, you should really do that. But the point is, they are in double-digit million views, and their individual videos, they're doing worse than me. I have not even a fraction of the audience they have, and yet their views are not even breaking 100,000 for the most part. After several weeks, they have 25 million subs. They upload multiple times a day, and despite all that, their videos are not doing all that well. And part of that's because their content sucks. It's been a slow decline. This is not something that happens overnight. They've been around for 20 years, and over the course of 20 years, they've established a brand of slop. There was a time when they were pretty big and discussed, but they kind of died out. Yeah, these are 100K numbers, exactly. Which, mind you, for a 100K channel, that's fantastic. That's great. But much like the Quartering, they're known for low-effort slop. Repetitive slop, really. And, yeah, this channel exposed them for it. Or discussed it, I should say. Thank you for being a member for 8 months there, Swizzles1875. Like always, thanks for all the entertainment. Yeah, compared to CinemaSins. Okay, let's compare it to CinemaSins. That's a good point there, Juan G. Let's take a look at CinemaSins real quick. CinemaSins is another channel that often is regarded as kind of a bit of a sloppy-ish channel. Let's take a look. Now, CinemaSins, by comparison, uploads far less. And I want to point out something you might be surprised by. CinemaSins is actually a smaller channel in terms of subscriber count. WatchMojo is 25.9 million. CinemaSins has 9.17 million. By comparison, CinemaSins is less than 2/5 the channel that WatchMojo is in terms of subscriber count. In terms of viewership, CinemaSins has 4 billion views, which is massive, but compared to WatchMojo, again, smaller. And yet, while CinemaSins is not doing fantastic compared to their old days, let's look at their content. 9 hours ago, just under 30,000 views. 53,000 after 3 days. 28 after 5 days, okay. Now, 1 week for Avatar, 111,000 views. 165,000. 131,000. 107,000. 113,000. 121,000. 100,000. 15,000. This is after a month. Now, granted, this is a far cry from their best. The most popular videos were over 31 million, 25 million, etc. But while they reached lower heights, they have also not plummeted to the same level as WatchMojo. And CinemaSins is often criticized a lot by people. Oh god, I hate this comment, but you're so right.
At user_225_CCC super chatted $4.99. Lily Orchard and Otterly Noah would make for a fascinating, horrible, toxic, and awesome findom pay pig relationship. Imagine Noah making oink noises.
Oh god, that is the worst combination. Oh my god. But they do have a lot in common with DMCAing people. And me being involved in the DMCAing. Because Lily Orchard, for those who forgot, she did DMCA strike me 5 times for criticizing her. And I rejected them all, and I got past all of them. But yeah, again, CinemaSins does not have all that terrible views. I mean, look right here. Almost 300,000 views for the Anaconda movie. 672,000 for this F1 review. Happy Gilmore 2, almost 400,000, sorry. Superman, almost 400,000. K-Pop Demon Hunters, almost 600,000. These aren't terrible. And they are consistent. Even though the channel has fallen off, it has not fallen. WatchMojo has fallen. Now let's talk for a second about the video by Voyen. Now Voyen is a channel of comparable size to myself. But their video has blown up in the last couple of days, in part because of the reaction WatchMojo had to them. Now,
At NB-TNC super chatted $2. Doomed Yaoi at its finest Noah and Ant Brew.
No, God, no. That's terrible. I hate that. Especially considering I'm the one pushing against it the most. I'm the one dooming it. Mostly. By responding to it. Anyway, so WatchMojo. Let me turn off the cryptic background music real quick while we play this. So I'm going to play a little bit of this video to react to it. Let's take a watch.
From millions of views every other video a decade ago, to thousands in 2026, plagiarism to recycled content, from being the most subscribed channel in Canada in 2016 to being the 6th most subscribed channel. Wow, really got him there. Welcome to Watch Voyin, and today we're counting down the top 10 reasons WatchMojo fell off, and the top 10 reasons that's a good thing.
Who threw this at me?
Yep.
Oh, dude. You. Why would you throw something?
Number 10. Just kidding, I'm not writing this out. Sorry, cut it back, cut it back.
This video is actually really fantastic. But again, that's already a good introduction, right? The video is already very fun. It gets your attention. It's a good video. I was taking notes on how they did this, actually, because the initial opening, good stuff. Good stuff. I do recommend you watch the whole thing, but again, because this has now become like kind of viral, I feel fine reacting to it.
As YouTube continued to grow as a platform in the 2010s, we began to witness the holy miracle of the content farm. They had existed long before this, but thanks to things like cable cutting and the partner program. I mean, just imagine having kids. You could pay Time Warner Cable $100 a month so your kids can watch Nickelodeon, or hand them a tablet with all their favorite YouTubers on it for free. Kids playing with toys, fake pranks, Elsa and Spider-Man resetting their Wi-Fi. Kids love YouTubers, and unfortunately vice versa. Thus,
As Ant is very sure from his CBR days. Oh God, these are going to be flashbacks. Listen, for those who don't know, I used to work for CBR, which is a ValNet company. I wrote for them from between 2017, 2018, and I kind of stopped around 2021 or so, because I just couldn't take it anymore. They basically milk you for writing. They make you, I think the contract was they had to make us write like freaking 5 articles a day. And so if you write that much, you're going to be like, oh, why I pause on Colleen Hoover. Let me go back.
YouTube began to prove itself as a source of much, in all senses, cheaper
there so much of
entertainment.
this?
Cable television would continue.
Here we go. Good. Excellent. That's a safer bet. So I stopped writing for them a few years ago, mainly because they were demanding more and more work, and the money wasn't really all that good. I have written for other outlets since CBR, and I've mainly worked on YouTube ever since, because YouTube is a massive endeavor to work on. Yes, comic book resources, not reactions. YouTube is also more rewarding because I get to do whatever I want, which is better than working for an editor or working for someone else, because they kind of dictate what you have to do. Ooh. Yep.
At KateCast Reviews super chatted $1.99. Watch his Professor Layton vids great.
The Voyin? Look at that. Voyin's Professor Layton. Oh, wow. Cool. Also, I'm not subscribed. Let's fix that live on this channel. Let's fix that. Subscribe to Voyin. And you should all do it too. Good channel here. Professor Layton, though. Okay. That's a good video. I have to watch that. I do like Professor Layton. I haven't played those games in ages. By the way, I replayed Star Fox 64 after the new game came out. Jesus, that's such a fun game. Why couldn't they just make a new Star Fox game, though? Like, not like a remake, but a new one. And the reason I say that is because I want to play as Crystal in your Star Fox game for a completely normal reason. Yeah, unsub from WatchMojo and sub Voint in the same stream. Power move. Yeah, it is a power move, but you know what? It's a power move that needs to happen. Star Fox Adventures, yeah, exactly. That's good too, but yeah, more Crystal in Star Fox would be good, personally. I was surprised they didn't just add Crystal into the remake, because you could do that. You could just add characters even if it's not in the original game. If you're remaking it, it's an idea. No, not furry. I just like the story behind Rare's Dinosaur Island. It's a good story. I wish they made Dinosaur Island instead of Star Fox. Yeah. Anyway, so anyway, CBR. I have nothing but respect for my fellow writers and editors. It was not them. There were some good writers there who were basically putting their heart and souls into content that would never get to see the audience it deserves. It needed to see it. And meanwhile, you get all these comments from channels, from slop channels like Clownfish TV going, oh, this new CBR article, this sucks. Yeah, this and the other. And he'd respond to my articles going like, okay, well, and that got me actually in a good mindset for reaction content on YouTube. Because when you get like your articles, if let's say you're a guy with no platform and someone online takes your article and makes fun of it, that really hardens you to criticism and actually allows you to listen to the feedback they have. Once you get over your emotions and your annoyance over it and you listen to what people are saying, you can get a lot of good out of good feedback. You know? Once you remove yourself emotionally, you can get some good material even from people you can't stand. Anyway, back to this. So Slop has been around for a while. Turn off the ads. What ads? Anyway, back to this.
Continue to lose numbers, especially with youth. The future was internet, but there was just one problem. TV is media that has been
Clownfish TV created Ant. Yeah, basically. You made me.
At DX Big Boss XV super chatted $5. I highly recommend Eisenhart Productions, who makes great videos on box office failures but in a responsible way, unlike the Chud channels and grifters.
All right, Eisenhart Productions. You got a shout out right now. I've not seen your work, but I will take a look at it. I'm curious now. Getting YouTube ads in your stream. Oh, are those added? Ah, it's annoying. I'll fix that later. Slip slop. It's hip hop, but automatically generated with some tech pros. Yeah, no, anyway, back to this.
Been filtered through businesses, writers' rooms, commissioners, networks, multiple levels of oversight, all to create entertainment that can be as appealable to as large of a group as possible.
So Clownfish TV are your parents, and I'm sorry. No, they're not. They made fun of a couple articles ages ago. I don't even know which videos they are. They were ages back, but they did criticize some articles, and that gives you feedback because you have a big channel criticizing you. You learn quickly how to take criticism online when big channels make fun of you. And there's some people who criticize articles I wrote, who I've talked to since, who like what I do now. So that right there tells you that you can always improve no matter what. And it's always important to improve. Anyway, back to this.
And at a consistent rate. Its entire goal is to attract and retain viewers by delivering content that is engaging or emotionally compelling. But YouTube is chaos. And that's the best part about it. Before the website was an algorithm-driven industry, it was just a community that kinda existed on its own terms. Money and jobs could happen, but they were distant. There was no grind. The word influencer was an illness with an accent. Uploading something meant you did it to do it, probably because you liked doing it and for minimal outside reasons. The joy of YouTube in a pre-2010 world was that it all felt intrinsic, and I know it was, because how the fuck else would YouTube poops have come into existence?
Time to really explode.
Specifically emphasized
Old school YouTube was a riot. There were some crazy things in old school YouTube, but I agree. But anyway, so we have to cut ahead a little bit here to the stuff where we get to... Let's cut ahead slightly.
For the sake of structure and keeping in the early 2010s, understand that with so many cable TV refugees, there was a large appetite for scripted, produced, studio-made, standardized entertainment, and YouTube would reward anyone who was going to make it. And saddle up, partner, because they fucking made it.
Yep.
At the Master 4863 super chatted $3.65. There was a proper Star Fox game after the introduction of Crystal, Star Fox, Command. It just had weird DS controls.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I do agree. Again, it's been ages since I played the old Star Fox games, but that was a weird
Wolf
one. Nick
3885 super chatted $10. The last real Star Fox game was released on an awful console that integrated its awful Euro controls as part of the game's identity. Yes, Nintendo is playing its overcorrection safe, but I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that the success of the new Star Fox reboot, or remake, I should say, encourages Nintendo to make another original game for Star Fox. I would like that. I'm hoping that's what they do. Personally, though, in terms of things I want to see revived, I am still hoping one day we get Darkstalkers coming back. Because that's a great game. It's not Nintendo, I know it's Capcom, but still. I want more Darkstalkers. It's been like 25 years. Come on. Anyway. So here we get to the point where WatchMojo fills a void.
This point to now, we saw the platform transform in all sorts of ways where the most popular videos in the first few years of YouTube.
Anyone but Derek Comedy? That's one that's been ages ago.
They fucking made it. From this point
one second, let me
to
find
now,
his face.
we saw the platform transform in all sorts of
Recognize that guy? You know who this guy is?
ways where the most popular videos in the first few years
Recognize this guy? Take a look at his face. Do you guys know who this is? This is a fun internet fact. This guy right here, I'm sure he never went on to do anything else major in anything ever. What's this guy's name? Donald Glover? He doesn't sound important. How do people know about this? They're a comedy with it was a comedy thing that Donald Glover was in back in I was in high school when it came out. Yeah, anyone remember this? This is old school YouTube stuff. I always love this bit. I remember seeing Community going like, wait, what's the guy from Derek Comedy doing in a TV show? Yeah, this is back in the day. It's great. Some of these sketches are still pretty funny. Like most of them age pretty poorly, but there's still a couple of really funny sketches from the Derek Comedy era.
Years of YouTube were just everyday life, webcam rants, home sketch comedy. Videos were made by real people of varying opinions and degrees of skill. If they weren't interesting, they were at least cool insights into the raw ways of life other people experience. Today, those same videos are no longer made, and if they are, you can find them buried under a homepage of trending, recommended, and search results of things you didn't search for.
Yep.
It all feels very corporatized with above-average productions. 100 students debate their teacher, talk show segments, Real Cop plays GTA, Real Psychopath plays Doki Doki I went on a tangent, didn't I? So what happens when you combine the rapidly expanding YouTube audience hungry for manufactured content reminiscent of their expensive cable-based forefathers with the 2010 social media rise of the listicle?
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 deaths in movies.
You get base, duh. If this were a puff piece, I would say WatchMojo was genius.
Wow, 5 million views. How old is that?
Yeah, fuck it. I'll still say they're genius for commodifying and oversaturating something as basic as numeric opinion expression, even though that's why I hate... We'll get to that. But I mean, the internet at this point had created the perfect conditions for something like this to happen. Digital primordial soup, and this is the company that crawls out of it. For their first 6 years after launching...
So we're not going to watch the whole video here because I do want to move on to the quartering. But right here, we get a really interesting perspective. WatchMojo did arrive at the right time. People forget this, but BuzzFeed was, for its day, the slop of its era. It was every article was like a new listicle, a new thing. People kept doing BuzzFeed quizzes. Huffington Post was doing listicles. The listicle dominated the entire meta of the internet for a very long time until it played itself out. WatchMojo was just that on a filmic level, on a cinematic level. And the fact that it included nice, well-edited clips, was polished, concise, it got a lot of attention, and justifiably so. But the problem is, like all trends, eventually you burn yourself out. You innovate or die online. Every creator who has continued to survive has done so with innovation in mind. Video essays, for example, are a complicated art form. Yeah, but you can make your essays more complex, more nuanced, more diverse, etc. Let's players, for example, people who stream games, they've evolved their content too in different ways. More game reviewers, I guess, have kind of evolved too in some ways as well. Game think pieces, commentary. A lot of these kinds of channels have evolved their approach. Even look at Markiplier, who is still doing Let's Plays like he did when he first started, but he's doing it with the innovation of so many years of experience on the platform. And he made a freaking motion picture that was independently funded by himself. Absolutely fantastic stuff. You look at the movie Obsession coming out this week. That was made by a YouTuber. That's a YouTuber movie. It's fantastic. The Backrooms is a YouTuber movie. These creators are taking the art form they crafted online and evolving beyond what they did previously. It's fantastic. DSP is a great example of something that did not involve. Hold that thought in mind. We may see DSP at some point during today's stream. Yes, you yourselves may have a cameo from everyone's favorite dipshit on the internet. There you go. I raised the head up a little bit there. Anyway, the video goes into detail about their problems and about WatchMojo's lack of consistency with their own opinions. It goes on in detail, but the point is this video would have been, like many others that exist online, criticizing a channel. And in fact, Rabbit Luigi, which is a bigger channel, I think, than Voyen, about 4 years ago, did a very similar video. Like right here, watch.
This video is sponsored by Keeps. More on them later.
Yo! Hi everyone, I hope you all enjoyed your holidays. I spent mine trying to relax and not think too much about YouTube because this is the sort of thing that can consume you and have you think twice about every small decision you make. You know, when things are going well, it feels like you're riding the crest.
Right here. Let me go ahead.
Which is disappearing faster than ever these days because
Okay,
what?
stop your ad.
50% off your first.
We're not sponsored by Keeps.
Different to what it's like in 2022 AD.
Slight tangent, but has anyone else noticed that YouTube hasn't changed its layout all that recently? I mean, they're off doing other stupid things like removing dislikes and making it generally harder to make.
Again, a lot of the same ground that was covered previously. Complain about YouTube, complain about the format done, because this kind of essay structure is very familiar and easy to slip into.
At Blue Baron 6858 super chatted $2. Thank you for being a wholesome YouTuber, and
I try.
smile with horns.
I mean, listen, wholesome is a very relative term. I swear my mouth off half the time. I don't know if I would call myself wholesome. Are WatchMojo and Quartering's downfall related to each other? Yes, they are. Because they deal with something I've mentioned multiple times you should never do. But the point is,
money off their website, but if
Early YouTube was a trip since Google
Same
weren't
basic
involved
ideas.
until 2006.
same basic ideas.
It's a hell of a thing to think about, and even worse to actively ponder when you're in the middle of creating something. You know what I said at the start about second-guessing every small decision you make? Yeah, this will be it. So if you're in the business of making money through YouTube videos, it would stand to reason that you would do everything in your power to optimize the videos that you put out and effectively make them as watchable as possible, even at the expense of quality. Oh shit, have we finally made it back around to WatchMojo?
it might seem like we've gone like 3 sides of a square to get.
That's the big issue with WatchMojo. Because they are essentially, by the very nature of the beast, soulless. They are essentially soulless entertainment. They have no personal face, no personality, no nothing. They're just soulless. They just exist and they kind of do shit. Here we go.
At Heavy Systems Inc., super chatted $2. WatchMojo looked astroturfed from day one to me.
And
Man
you'd be
shrugging.
right. They did AstroTurf. They basically were a corporate interest who jumped in to just shove their structure into everyone's faces. And in doing so, didn't actually produce content that was all that unique. But as Rabbit Luigi and as Voyen argue, both in separate videos that are not connected to one another, but they cover a similar ground, the corporate interests of WatchMojo remove their personality. Am I the greatest YouTuber of all time? No, by no means. In fact, I can guarantee that you probably watch more smaller mid-tier YouTubers than the big guys because you want that personal touch. You want the unpolished, the rough edges. You want to see the mistakes. You want to see the humanity behind the camera. And you want to get to feel like you know the person who's talking to you. That is the greatest appeal of a YouTuber, of an amateur YouTuber or a mid-sized YouTuber. That's what Markiplier does. That's what no matter who it is, the long-time running guys, they've been around for a while and they have their personality coming in through their content. They have edges that don't always sand down all the way. Oh, super chat over here.
At user_225_CCC super chatted $4.99. Ant and chat, which would you rather watch together?
Why?
Quartering Basement Water Sports ASMR clip, or DSP accidentally tugging his little DSP on stream?
Why would you put that question to the world? They're both horrifying.
At Astro Zombies 751 super chatted $10.
I've unfortunately seen both clips,
Nintendo
though.
remaking Star Fox makes sense. Restart series, get it back to its roots with something safe after Zero. Get the kids who liked Galaxy Movie hooked into the franchise you want to make again.
You know what? That's, again, you're right. That is the mentality, and I appreciate that. I think it's a good strategy from a business standpoint. It just sucks as someone who's played the games years ago and wants something new. But I do agree with you. It's a good strategy, especially with younger audiences, because Star Fox has been around for a while. Also, to answer the question, I've seen, unfortunately, now both clips. At least with DSP, there's something kind of goofy about it. With the quartering, it's deeply uncomfortable. We'll get to that in a bit. Unfortunately, you all may have to see both clips before the night's over, but at least the quartering one probably. Anyway, at least with DSP, it's like kind of goofy. It's like, oh, the camera's on. Like it's a little bit of silliness there that he's not expecting it. With the quartering, you're seeing a sad, drunk man peeing his pants in the basement because his wife went out to get pizza. And that's more depressing, I think, than anything else. At least with DSP, it's kind of funny how embarrassing it is. With the quartering, it's uncomfortable from start to finish. Anyway, you come to smaller YouTubers because they have a personality. WatchMojo is a corporate entity. There is the most personality I got from WatchMojo was the time Tom Holland recognized the WatchMojo lady's voice in an interview. That's about it. Aren't you a little tired of people switching up the words porn with corn? Or not so... Yeah, I hate that. I hate when people do that. Unfortunately, the algorithm forces people to do it, but YouTube's algorithm doesn't really do it all that much. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. For a while, people said that the word Nazi, if you said it in your stream or video, would get your video ranked down in the search engine. However, I mentioned the word Nazi so many times in my Nazi video that it would absolutely be demoting it if it was a problem, but it didn't. So, fuck, I don't know.
D3 ad super chatted $2. DSP, it can happen to anyone is how I feel.
Yeah, that's more understandable. You think the camera's off, it's not. By the way, if you leave your webcam unattended, you should cover that up. You have no idea who's watching you. There are a lot of people who like hack into webcams and like watch you while you're doing nothing. It's upsetting. There've been so many horror stories, people like just recording like their roommates' webcams when they're alone with like a girl or a guy, and they use the footage to like embarrass them or it's very sad. It's very sad what people do with people's webcams and invade their privacy. And I mean like in terms of invading their intimate moments. As we will see, the quartering gives advice on how to be private in a very different way. That's very inappropriate. I'm talking like basic, things you just don't want the internet to see at large, not the horrible shit that the quartering tells you how to avoid in one of his first videos. We'll get that in a second, because Eugene the King outlined it. But we'll get there in a second. I'm not sure why they didn't... Oh, there we go. Cool. Awesome.
At Campbellzilla super chatted $10. I always thought Star Fox could use a prequel focusing on his ancestor. Have it set on pre-space travel Corneria, give it a diesel punk sky captain, Blackhawk vibe, and fascist monkeys as the villains.
That could be cool. That could be really cool. I would play that. That sounds cool. I like that. It probably wouldn't happen, but then I didn't think Donkey Kong Bonanza would happen either. Look how that turned out. Anyway, yeah, no, not James McCloud. Even older than James McCloud, I assume. Because if it's Diesel Punk, it's like, that's even older than James. So that'd be much older. Anyway, the reason why this video became popular, but this Rabbit Luigi one never took off the same way, is because of this. Now, everyone... A couple weeks ago, I said that one of the best things you can do is when you're in controversy to shut the fuck up. Shutting the fuck up is a great action. It allows you to avoid most controversies as it goes on. And though people may try to drag you into controversy, make you respond, make you engage, shutting the fuck up is a great strategy to avoid controversy. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to bring Noah up again in this one. If Noah just shut the fuck up at the Callisto video, he would not have imploded his entire career. If he just let the video ferment in its corner of the internet, there'd be no problems. Unfortunately, he did not. And likewise, WatchMojo, the corporate entity who has a PR team, I presume, should have known to shut the fuck up and not talk. Instead, WatchMojo decided to have a legendary crash out. This is the pinned comment. You probably can't see it, but I will read it aloud to you all. Unfortunately, my screen's very minimized. See if I can make it a little bigger here. That's too big. Right here. Unfortunately, chat is in the way. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a little too long for me to show.
At the
whole
Salubra
thing,
Outcast
so I'll read it
super
to you.
chatted $3.65. The Norwegian blue wasn't nailed to a perch for kids to say unalived.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
At Mark M1575 super chatted $5.
Super chat's going
Fun
cool.
activity for chat. Play the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Electro theme
Eh.
while reading the WatchMojo comment. It's the funniest thing.
I recommend that. Unfortunately, I can't play it here because I get copyright struck, but do that at home.
Cartoon49 super chatted $2. What will take for Otterly Noah to redeem himself?
Nothing. He's gone too far. In my eyes, he can never be redeemed.
At Ron Quixote super chatted $4.99. YouTube's algorithm moving videos down the rankings with the word Nazi in them? And there you have it. Yikes.
Well, that's the thing. That was what people believed. But my video had Nazi in the whole script. It did fine. So I wonder if people are just like making excuses or paranoid. I don't know. But I can prove right now with my video that it's not affecting every video that says Nazi. And I said Nazi a lot in that video. Multiple videos that say Nazi a lot in that video and it doesn't affect it negatively. So I think some people are just paranoid. That being said, though, you cannot use the word Nazi in a super chat. Oh, I lied to you. You just did. Perfect. Yeah. So it's only conditional. So WatchMojo. Now this video came out 7 days ago. 5 days ago, which means 2 days after the video was uploaded, WatchMojo says this. And I'm going to read it typos pronounced phonetically. The day no one talks you is the day you are irrelevant. So thank you. Okay, never heard of your channel, and I admit, I didn't see the video, but a few points. In 2006, when we started, we were obviously a bit ahead of the curve. In 2012, when every channel was some vlogger sitting on the couch, we mastered our signature style, and many cried as it looked more like VH1/MTV/ESPN, and not what the vocal minority viewed as YouTube content. The challenge in media is staying relevant, keeping your audience guessing, etc. Companies like BuzzFeed/Vice/Vox and channels that inspired themselves by us, by their own admission, all came and went. We managed to both keep our OG fans happy and innovate. If by downfall you mean being a survivor, having 100 plus FTEs who earn their living with, freelance technician, earn their living with us, then I will take it. Also, this may be inside baseball, but you are aware that AVOD, AVOD, is YouTube 1.0, and the platform has evolved, right? I could break it down for you, but why bother? Hint, viewers are spending nearly an hour per watch session watching our content, ... We are, in the ways that matter, more pertinent than ever. As per SoundMojo, again, think of 2012, when the vocal minority whined, and then we got the last laugh. Some link. Haters, envious, jealous people are fueled by our fire.
At JessISD3 ad super chatted $5. Bro, this sounds like a Death Note dub moment.
does,
I noticed social media can now tell what's family friendly and it attacks family friendly channels.
That's a big thing too. It can. By the way, zero capitalizations of first sentences. No, almost no periods in this statement. Several words that are just awkwardly written. Now, friend of the channel, Riverboat Jack on Blue Sky, made a comment as saying This has to be a bot. This has to be AI. This has to be like an AI agent that was plugged in. But I say this. There is no way that this was anyone but an angry person in charge of the account. How this has 2.7 thousand likes, I don't know. Some comments. This is like the Ouija board speaking back. Another comment says, trying to combat a video you admitted to not watching as a corporate conglomerate is about what I'd expect from a channel that does not care about a community or personality. Providing talking points while admitting to not watching or engaging with the media is peak WatchMojo. Bro, got WatchMojo crashing out. WatchMojo walked so tier list ranking videos could run. WatchMojo getting ratioed in the comment section was not on my bingo card. I love how I clicked on this video and WatchMojo is a pinned comment talking a big nothing burger. It's okay. We all had a WatchMojo phase when we were young. WatchMojo was a slop channel before slop channels had AI to make slop easy. WatchMojo could be considered one of the earliest examples of a content farm on YouTube. Back in 2007, the idea of a YouTube channel that strictly caters to farming clicks was almost unheard of. The amount of mispronunciations from them as well. Okay, in fairness, I can't make fun of them for that one. I did the same thing myself. Who doesn't remember women is valid? God. Anyway. Had they just said nothing, this video would probably be funny enough, but, in context of what it is, which is a smaller account taking a shot at a bigger account, which is fine. We all should do that. Corporate power should be criticized. You should feel compelled to criticize the big guys because they're the big guys. They have their platform. They have their audience.
At Mark M1575 super chatted $2. Stop. They're already dead. At Any Profit super chatted $2. Reads like an ESL rant, not AI.
That's fair too. It does read like, I guess it could read like an English as a second language rant, but I'm not sure.
At Zypher 8677 super chatted $2. Top 10 anime betrayals. Number 1, Voyan.
Oh, I love it. Actually, the text to speech almost sounds like a WatchMojo voice actor. That's a low blow. I'm sorry. But no, yeah. So friend of the channel, Riverboat Jack, was hoping it was AI. I read it again, and no, there's no way it's AI. This is a human being. This guy's mad. AI has better typing, better language. As you will see, the commonality between all of the drama recently is if you just shut up and take your hit on the chin, you be fine. It might suck for a week or two, but you'll live. Look, a comment like this is forever. Will WatchMojo recover? Probably. No one really cares what they have to say. That's the thing about WatchMojo. Most of their audience will never hear about this comment. But again, what are you going to do? EFAP is calling you a grifter again. Do you think you should do something about this? Their slander could cause damage down the line. Let me explain something to you again. What value does respond to EFAP actually provide me? EFAP can say whatever the hell they want. Their own audience will eat it up. It is irrelevant to what I'm doing. It just is. Look, EFAP has made about, at this point, about 12 videos about me, I think. Something like that. Who cares? What is it? How does it impact me? It doesn't. People who don't like me, don't like me. Okay. Didn't like me before, who cares now? So, why bother? Anyway, but again, that right there is the thing. I could just off the cuff yell EFAP from my perspective. Oh, you're wrong about this, this, and this. And I'd be right. They are wrong about a lot. But all that would really do is help EFAP out, wouldn't it? Because no one's going to want to watch EFAP from my audience. So all I'm doing is saying, at this time code, watch this video. I'm like, okay, they'll watch the video and then EFAP will get more promotion.
At DX Big Boss
I'm going to give them
XB
free
super
promotion.
chatted $2. Mojo's views versus subs ratio is fall of Rome tier.
Mm-hmm. That it is. So again, with most of these critical videos, if you just let it sit and ferment and rot, you can ride out just about any kind of controversy possible. You really can. Unless you make it an issue no one cares all that much. The lasting legacy is not all that strong. Yeah, so in comments, Neon Cypher is saying right here, I'll give him credit, EFAP isn't going to convince anyone that doesn't already dislike you. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Who cares?
At Revenovan 300 super chatted $1.99. I read the comment in my best Powerplex impression.
Exactly. Yeah, no, not every frame of painting, every frame of pause. It's Mahler's pockets. By the way, I may do a review on Mahler's short film, though. I may respond to that. That's my EFAP response, making fun of your short film. Anyway, but I digress. So, that's life. Yeah, no, it's like, you know, that's a big thing right there. So James Charles and Colleen Ballinger, and they took your advice and backfired on both of them. Colleen Ballinger groomed a child. That's not really the same thing. If you're doing something illegal, that's different. I think James Charles also didn't he also like assault someone? Like those are crimes, like criminal crimes. They're not comparable to YouTube critical videos, you know?
At the Salubra Outcast super chatted $1.46. They do speak Quebecois French first, not English.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know that. Did not know that. Yeah, no, listen, when a YouTuber does a crime, that's like a crime? Yeah, ignoring that's different. That's a crime. There's a huge difference between a person getting like a mean couple comments and actually committing a crime. And also Colleen did respond. Very famously, she responded. She did like a freaking like ukulele video. James Charles, that's a whole other thing. But the big thing that I'm going to bring up also, that's very important, is this. And here's one reason why the EFAP thing doesn't bother me, but it affected Noah, why WatchMojo's actions affected WatchMojo, and why the Quartering's actions have destroyed the Quartering. The fire matters most if it's in your house. The fire matters the most if it's on your lawn. If someone's starting a fire 5 blocks away, it doesn't really affect you. I mean, it's sad that fire's happening, but it doesn't really affect you. With EFAP, that's a fire 5 blocks down. They're not in my community. What they're saying, people in my audience, doesn't care. In fact, if anything, it's actually a badge of honor having so many responses to me. I can leverage that however I want. They gave me exactly what I wanted, which is to say 12 different thumbnails of them attacking me. It's the perfect fucking thing to use. For me, that's an arsenal. That's a weapon I can use. But it's not going to negatively affect me. Noah, his audience was kind of mixed in with EFAP. So for him, that negatively affected him. He was making friends with all the commentary channels. He was a host. He was touring with them. He was having fun with them, talking to them more close to them than they were with me. So right there, and commentary gets mad at you, that's going to affect you. The fire is on his front yard. WatchMojo, they're attacking the critical media analysis community, which overlaps with their own. This fire, it's on their lawn, and they're fanning it like Noah did. But the Quartering is different. The Quartering's fire is not on his front lawn. It is not even on, it's not even in his house. It's in his room with him. The Quartering is not being attacked for things he did recently alone. Because there are many people, many people who called out the Quartering before. I'm going to bring up a video from the Surfs. The Surf Time, specifically. Right here. So, this is a video from the Surfs, and I will say this right now. I know not everyone likes the Surfs. I have issues with some of their commentary as well. The Surfs, though, have been on Jeremy's tail for a very long time. And where's the clip? It was right on here, I think it was.
They absolutely do protest too much. Come on. From the quote tweet, presumably it was not actual semen, but he really did make that video.
I went a little ahead. Oh,
On
here
your
we go.
computer, sorry, child sexual abuse
Right
materials
here.
on your computer, and explains how to, like, you know, you should definitely hide that or delete it before you take it in for repairs because you'll get caught and you'll get arrested. So here's how you can avoid getting arrested for your CSAM kind of shit. He ended up deleting that entire channel when I exposed that video, and now there's no copies of it except for the one version of it that has me in the background on a really old stream.
It's more of a public service announcement than anything.
So, right here.
Else. At the office this week, we had a situation where one of the techs came across.
This is old chat, if anyone recognizes their names, because it's from a really long time ago.
Some pictures on a customer's computer that were of the child pornography variety. I don't really know if there's any tack way to put that. But the customer was reported and subsequently arrested, I believe, is last that I heard. And is even more serious. However, I've never known a tech in my life that ever took anything other than like video.
Let's see how the years have been.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it was so soft back then.
But the point I want to make right here is that the Surf channel, was talking about this years ago. This clip right here has gotten a lot of attention recently by Kino Casino, the channel that has been mostly responsible for criticizing the Quartering. Kino Casino is, of course, kind of like they're trolls. They're trolls, basically. They're edgy trolls, and you don't really feed the trolls if you can avoid it, because trolls don't care about meaningful criticism, don't care about dialogue. They care about tearing you down. Now, this clip has gotten attention thanks to Kino Casino again. That's come up in conversation. People are talking about it now. The Surf was talking about it years ago. No one cared. Because the fire was coming from 5 blocks down. The fire the Quartering was facing was coming 5 blocks down. Not in his community, it was outside.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $5. When I was a lot angrier in the late 10s, I was subscribed to the Surfs and a member of their Discord server. In retrospect, one of my worst mistakes.
Yeah, I'm not a big Surf fan. I watch his stuff on occasion, but yeah, no, it's one of the rotation. But there's a lot of toxic people in that community, so I'm not gonna encourage you all to join the Surf. That being said, though, he used to write for WatchMojo. Their pay was trash. I fully believe that. I fully believe that they're Rain Wolf Spain. Yeah, no, I fully believe that. Yeah, if they're like Valnet, their pay was probably trash as well. Yeah, no, you're better off not writing for them. Use your talent somewhere that means something. You know, they wear you dry. They drain you of all you're good for, and then they toss you out. It's not worth your time. You can do much better. You know, I'm sure the Surf's fine. I never met the Surf. I never talked to him personally. I'm sure he's a nice enough guy, but some of those communities attract really intense people, and I'm not about that. But the point is that 15 for 20 entry list article. Yeah, nah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah, no, I'm sure he's a cool dude. Anyway, the point is though that the Surfs pointed out this clip ages ago, but it's only gotten recent attention thanks in part to the
In the political commentary space, there are few as detested and as untrustworthy as
thanks to the June the King
general
video.
information on computer components and advice.
And thanks to King Casino for bringing it up again.
At WC Wit super chatted $9.99. Bobvids was the first guy the first saw tearing apart Quartering's whole grift by tearing apart a video about a GameSpot review of Days Gone, a game Quartering admitted he never played in that same vid.
I believe that. I fully believe that. Bob's Vid's great. A great channel.
Few
So here's
would
the
be
full
archived.
clip, by the way.
The videos that were would haunt Jeremy for decades.
At the office this week, we had a situation where one of the techs came across some pictures on a customer's
This is 2008, by the way.
computer that were of the child pornography variety. I don't really know if there's any tack way to put that. The point of this video is just to remind people that, you know, as techs, we read your emails, so to speak. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it happens. So if you have things that you don't want computer techs to see, you know, maybe change the folder name when you take it in if you can.
While some would see this video as informative in how computer techs have access to users' personal information, others would, eventually, view this as Jeremy, per his specific example, advising predators on how not to get caught.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think, June. One thing I will say about June the King. June the King is very, very, very just the facts. He kind of tries to, I think he kind of, at times, fence sits a little bit too much for my tastes, but he makes very good informative material. Yeah, not Moon. Moon's different. No, June's got some good stuff. I do have some critiques of him, especially his Lily Orchard video with how he presented certain visuals and included the dead name
Nick
for the
Wolf,
video.
3,885 super chatted $5. A person I met on surfcourt_hated_road da, calling him a PDF because of Violet Beauregard's punishment, because I guess Dahl could see the future?
I mean, okay. And that's unfair. That's not a fair critique. Val Dahl would probably be repulsed by DeviantArt. I can guarantee you, he'd be repulsed by anything sexual. He was very, very repressed, I guess the right word is. Yeah, just as someone who's worked for IT and has found someone's porn while scanning a computer for a virus. There were so many viruses. This is also just advice that he's a bad tech. Yeah, exactly. He really is. He should have done about inflation. Oh God, I'm sorry about this terrible Valdo. Required to report any suspicious illegal material. Yeah, that's also fair. You're supposed to report if you find someone with deeply improper material, put it mildly. If you have material that is illegal, that should be reported by your tech. You shouldn't tell people, hey, hide it so I don't see it. No, it's like, you should be like, just doing your duty to figure out, okay, is this person like a criminal or just a pervert? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyway, the point of all this is this clip was around for a very long time and people knew about it. It was archived. It was reacted to. And yet, despite this, the quartering persisted. Because the quartering was dealing with a fire outside of his wheelhouse. And that's important to mention. Now, the video itself that June the King put out goes into... It's 3.5 hours long. We're not going to react to all of it. But I do want to bring up a specific detail that I thought was horrifying in a disgusting kind of way. Here we go. Right here, especially.
Somebody just fucking donated $500.
We're doing it, by the way, guys. If I have to listen to this horrible story So do all of you. Now, let me give you some background. When I first announced this stream, I got a message from Red Bard, who is a friend of the channel. Love Kennedy. They're great. And Kennedy who might be watching this stream right now, hi Kennedy, by the way, if you are, was kind of curious what the whole quartering drama was. And I mentioned to them that no human being in the world should ever have multiple stories where they poop and pee in places they shouldn't be pooping and peeing in. Let alone so many that it becomes too much to count on two hands. Why would anyone have this many stories about pooing and peeping everywhere, shitting and pissing themselves all over the place? Let alone in a Walmart. So yeah, we're going to listen to it. We're all going to listen to it collectively. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else of different persuasions and gender identities, I now present to you proof that no matter what happens in your life, no matter how low you may be, no matter what horrible things befall you, no matter what stresses you out, no matter what's going wrong, you are not this fucking guy.
I have to tell the story about how I shit my pants now.
Oh, you do?
Once upon a time, I believe I was probably 32, 33, maybe 34.
So hang on, what was that a couple of years ago? How old are you?
Yeah. I'm 36.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, it was
recent.
vivid.
Go on.
The memory is vivid. We're at Walmart. We had just eaten, my wife and I, we had just eaten at Qdoba. And like, you know, when you're going to have I would say watery shit, you can kind of tell like your stomach kind of gurgles and you know it's going to be bad.
At Mark M1575 super chatted $2. I will pay you more money to not play this.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If we hit half of the goal, I will stop playing this. How's that sound? Let's see how that works.
Bad. Well, we're grocery shopping, and it starts to hit me. I'm like, oh, I got to shit. We're in the front of the store by the vegetables. The bathrooms are way in the back, or in the front of the store, like on the other side. Looking for avocados, and then it's like, oh.
Look, I'm sorry. I can get from one end to the other of Walmart in 2 minutes. Like 2-3 minutes. It's not particularly difficult. It really is not hard to walk from one end to the other of Walmart
At Black
fast.
Rabbit Studios 11 super chatted $1.99. Have you read People of Walmart?
I have, unfortunately.
Poop is a reg there.
I'm disturbed by the fact that that's a regular occurrence at Walmart. That's really concerning for me. I don't know how I feel about that at all. But yeah, so let's keep going.
Shit, it's time. And my mind immediately goes in like slow motion where I'm doing the calculation. I realize at this moment that there's a real possibility I might shit my pants because it was
At Cloud Parade super chatted $2. Please spare us Ant.
I'll try my best, but I'll get to the... Okay, you know what? Again.
It was just like fucking...
we're getting close to the halfway mark.
I start thinking, well, if it happens, I don't want it to be up front by all the checkouts where everybody sees me. So I decide to take the longer route to the back because I know I can kind of duck through like the clothing and like the automobile section. People aren't going to see me in case the inevitable happens. I hit the shoe section, which you guys haven't been at Walmart, but the shoe section, you're a...
At Zypher 8677 super chatted $2. 2 years I was Walmart janitor. I never encounter this.
That's because Jeremy's a unique person. It is truly the most disgusting thing I've imagined so far. Oh, there we go. Good.
At SM Jida super chatted $1.99. I worked in retail for a hot minute. It's common disappointed.
It is. I can imagine. Oh, holy crud. We're all saved. We're all saved.
Especially 04181 super chatted $150.
Thank you. Thank you for saving us. Jesus Christ, you're amazing. We are saved. We can stop the story. Hit the brakes. The Savior has arrived. All you need to worry about is that Jeremy poops himself in the shoe aisle. And then, much later on, he pees himself in his basement.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $5. Sometimes I call it peeping, but that's when you're staring at someone. Snapcube do no harm. Also, Aaron Hansen, the quartering is not. _ crim.
Even Aaron Hansen has fewer poop and piss stories than the quartering does.
At Mark M 1575 super chatted $2. On my knees release me.
I love it. Nothing quite like blackmailing my audience with the threat of a Jeremy
At
fucking
Yokai
story.
Lover 699
to get the
super
goals all
chatted
set up.
$2. Just cane in. The hell am I looking at?
You are looking at the horrors of the quartering, I'm very sorry to say. Yeah, the quartering's a man-child. But the point is, this story has been around for so long. This is not a new story. Hell, the pissing story
Makes sense to me. Now, this is one of my dads, all right?
It took 5 days for the quartering to return to Twitter.
Out there with the
Right
dog
here.
who's peeing, and then I'm also peeing.
At
And then
Aspiring
she,
to
like,
Storyteller
got up
super
one
chatted
night.
$2. Why did he thought this was a good thing to share?
Not only did he share it, but listen to this. He shared multiple stories about this. More than
Forces
one.
you off, like you quit cold turkey, like getting demonetized or something, you know?
Though Jeremy sought endless growth, the more traction his videos got, the more opposition he received. Just a day after the content core was uploaded, the Quartering is a Nazi subreddit was created, a small but growing group of Redditors who greatly disliked Jeremy. Conversely, by the end of 2020, the Quartering surpassed 1 million subscribers. Rather than focus entirely on covering articles, Jeremy continued to make videos giving attention to his critics.
I got hammered on a Twitch stream once and peed in the drain in the unfinished part of my basement. Like, I don't even care about that, but these people are obsessed with it. It's hilarious. Like, look, when you have no mortgage on your beautiful home, you can pee in it wherever you want. And the fact that they think this is some kind of own is weird.
No,
At
it's a
Ermenita
bit
Rules
embarrassing.
Super chatted $1.99. God, Jeremy is a real shitstorm.
He really is. Keep in mind, he's doing the combination of two things. He's complaining about his critics. Again, he could just shut up. He has over 1 million subs at this point. He has a massive channel that makes massive amounts of money. And he's complaining about some Twitch streamer making fun of him. And talking about his own pissing.
At Campbellzilla super
all
chatted
peeing.
$5. This type of oversharing is limited to the quartering. These inhabitants of the Chudosphere are prone to relishing their grossness. Asmongold anyone greater than.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a real shame if someone grosser than the quartering reacted to them and said, oh man, that's really disgusting of you. Be really awful. Hey, what's this right here? What's this video? Who's this channel?
It's a new butthole, this game. I talked about it this morning on the podcast. So I'm actually just going to do this. At Walmart. There's a million other alternative places you could be shopping that are better places to shop quality-wise and just a million reasons why. Okay? I would never be at Walmart with my family. Period. But that's me. Other people...
Yeah, DSP would have the issue with it being at Walmart with your family than anything
At
else.
Auto Johnny super chatted $5. God, he pissing all over the place like a puppy who hasn't been housebroken.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the puppy bit because,
Pissed on my dog, too.
Jeremy facing undue stress.
It's funny you mentioned the dog, by the way.
And then I had to piss so bad, but there was like music and everything else going on in the house. So I just start pissing in a bucket. Like there's a 5-gallon bucket in my garage. I just start
At the
pissing in a
Salubra
bucket.
Outcast
and it-
super chatted
so many fucking pee
$1.46. As a period heaver, he is weak. Period shits.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing I find so bizarre. Why does he have so many piss stories? Why would... Here's the thing. Again, like, if anyone outside of his grift told this, that would be the most humiliating thing they would ever disclose. And he has dozens of these fucking piss stories. Why does one human being have so many stories about pissing in the house? about shitting himself. Like, why does he have so many? You're grossing DSP out, for God's sakes.
At Mark M1575 super chatted $5. If you're grossing out DSP, you need to go home and rethink your life.
Yeah! Yeah! If DSP is saying, man, that's disgusting, the guy who was caught wanking it on camera, by accident, mind you, but still wanking it, like, that should be the sign maybe I've gone too far. And again, let's also discuss the elephant in the room. Now, I know this entire time I'm drinking out of this cup. There is no alcohol in this cup. I have not had a drop of alcohol all day. At all. Nor am I going to. Why am I bringing it up? Well, because I don't want to be drunk on a stream. When you have a lack of inhibition, whether it's from drinking alcohol or THC or whatever, what you end up doing is you may say something that's embarrassing. You may not articulate your words correctly. You might say something dumb. It's not a fun experience to be dumb on a stream and then have a headache the next day. The reason I bring this up is because Jeremy is a raging alcoholic. As June covers in this video, he got kicked out of college, briefly, for drinking too much and not doing good in his computer studies thing. Throughout his entire career, he has been an intense alcoholic. He drinks, he does all this stuff. And worse than maybe that, on top of being drinking too much, he also gets angry and talks while drunk. Again, we come back to the surfs right here. I want to play this clip right here that's recent.
Well, that's the history of it, gone off the internet. Trying to run away from that. I say all this because that brings us to our new modern situation here. Apparently, Bering, this old right-wing chud of the internet, ends up making a video on the Quartering and his entire cuckoldry. Because all of them, again, this is...
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this other thing too. For those who don't know, one big thing with the Quartering is he's a cuck. He apparently likes to have other men sleep with his wife. Which,
at Kanasha 37
is weird,
super chatted $5. I knew about the Quartering, but I honestly thought the stories about him were just exaggerated from people who don't like him.
No, in fact, they're being nice. Listen, a real life cuck, if that's your thing, I think as long as it's between consenting adults, I don't care. That's my policy. If it's a thing between multiple consenting adults and everyone's on board with it, cool, whatever. Not my thing, don't care, that's cool, whatever. But in the right-wing manosphere, it's a big deal. Because that's a go-to insult.
At JessISD3 ad super chatted $5. My buddy is an alcoholic and he has told me so much that he shouldn't about himself and other people and then forgets it's honestly what keeps me away.
Exactly. It's just too much.
At Wyatt Amedon 5747 super chatted $5. The Quartering is a trailblazer. He hasn't failed upwards, he's pissed upwards.
Exactly.
A new frontier for humanity.
Exactly. He's really pissed his way up. He's pissed off hospitality.
At Maryland 614 super chatted $5.10. The weird part is Jeremy never had to reveal that he peed and pooped his pants. He could have kept it secret.
Exactly. No one made him tell you all this. He did it himself. All of it is done. His own. He just said it himself. He gave it up on his own.
At Big Boy Sloan super chatted $5. Watched him when I was around 16/17. I am 25 and holy F, this dude is the biggest loser I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that's a common experience when you go back and watch someone you watched when you're 17 or 16. They very often are embarrassing. Because it's what it is, You're a kid.
At Astro Zombies 751 super chatted $5. The Quartering is an actual N*Z who got sponsored by a N*Z book publisher. I swear to God it's true. Antelope Hill Publishing.
No, yeah, I know you're right. You're completely correct. Yeah, no, that's 100% right. But the thing is this. It's, here's the reality to it, right? when you're a teenager, your brain isn't functioning correctly, and it's not done. It's evolving still. You're growing up, You're unstable, you're uncertain, you're insecure, you don't feel confident in your masculinity, and you turn to someone who you think is more masculine if you're a boy. You think, oh, it's a man. This guy knows what's up. He can express the outrage that you may feel in your chest. But once you grow up, you realize, wow, that was really stupid of me to feel so pissed off about nothing. Someone like the Quartering only has an audience because he's taking advantage of the rage of children. Meanwhile, he's taking your rage, turning it into money, drinking that money, and then once he's finished digesting the alcohol money he bought, is peeing in a bucket in his basement. Yeah, no. I think it's ridiculous. By the way, we're not going to kink shame cucks here. If that's your kink, cool. I don't get it, but that's cool. You do you. I'm not going to be upset about that. But the point is that the right-wing audience is very, very kink-shamey. That's their go-to insult. They call everyone they don't like a cuck. And Jeremy called everyone he didn't like a cuck. Meanwhile, he was himself a cuck. Cucks don't claim this loser. Exactly. The cucks don't want Jeremy. They don't want this fucking guy in their cucks situation. No one wants Jeremy. Anyway, let's take a listen.
Is something you're not allowed to do. This is the one time when all of them are now kind of uniting against the Quartering, both because he is allegedly a literal cuck, and that's something that they will not abide by.
Exactly.
But two, not only is he a cuck, but he's a censorious cuck. So he's a cuck who's also trying to take down anyone who makes videos about his cuckoldry, which the Baron did. And so when he did, the Quartering slides into his DMs, and they start fighting, and he leaked the DMs. So now these are the alleged leaked DMs between the Quartering and Baron.
I want to tell you right now, this is not in the June the King video. If you haven't seen this yet, this is new. And it's evidence as to why the Quartering is crashing out as hard as he is. And why there is no recovery for him.
So the Quartering says, lol, hope the 60,000 views was worth it. Did you not think the video was fair? I didn't watch it. The fact that it was even made was wild. 10 years of friendship equals 60k views? Lol. I would love to signal boost your wife's channel. Getting demonetized. I really hope she gets it back, but I can't because I'm the wrong voice now. Yeah, I think you should watch it, mate. Pass! Are you saying you're going to flag channels? Yeah, I'm flagging everyone. I'm calling my rep. Everyone's getting banned. You need to calm down and stop drinking, mate. Go watch my video. Nope, everyone's cooked. Remember, I can ban anyone I want. It's on. Listen, you sound like an irrational woman. You're coming at me for a video you didn't even watch. If you did, you'd realize I want the best for you. You called me a fucking alcoholic, which is insane. So, if true, I'm loving the burnout, the crash out, whatever you want to call it. That part's amazing. Loving the torching old friendships. Loving how none of these people have done an ounce of growth in the totality of their careers. It's like, what? Is this 10, 16 years later? And you're still like, I do believe my friend, my dear friend, as the Baron, as in I am the Baron of all oddities. I do have to say.
Jesus Christ, that is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. As someone who's had his DMs leaked before, I can say that's embarrassing. I can safely say nothing I've ever written in text ever is this embarrassing. Because what this shows is the Quartering is an angry drunk who burns bridges while drunk. He's irrational, and that makes him dangerous.
Larry Banks 3,821 super chatted $20. It's telling that despite all the warnings that Quartering has done over the years, they either never took it seriously, encourage him, or called him out, which allows him to get worse, and this is the result.
Exactly. People got mad at me for not throwing Noah under the bus immediately. Meanwhile, I did a stream about the Noah situation hours after it happened the first time, back in January. This tells me all of them knew that Jeremy was unstable. All of them knew about the fucking computer shit. All of them saw him pissing himself. All of them saw him, the Walmart story. All of them saw him make increasingly irrational financial decisions. He attacked everyone and was also taking advantage of people too. Oh.
At Austin LaPlante 4203 super chatted $5. His obsession for Brie Larson was and is beyond creepy. He married and tongue-wagging at another woman.
Oh, between the Brie Larson thing, this one I love right here.
Is to push these conversations forward. Obviously, I don't want any bullshit SJW book. As always, SJW's always lies. SJW lesbian space gem. Garrett, SJW red-haired, blue-haired Mohawk guy. General SJW buzzwords. Lol cow, milking the feminist lol cow down. Classic SJW stuff. BuzzFeed hates men. Feminist agenda person's feminist propaganda. Everyone needs to stop getting triggered.
Get ready for
I'm
it,
not
guys.
a fan of Brie Larson. Brie Larson. Maybe it's because Brie Larson. Your favorite Brie Larson. Brie Larson is going to help you. And that Brie Larson. Just you and me. All female, mega diverse MCU film directed by Brie Larson. Do it.
Just posting, my 5th Brie Larson video in 30 days.
Oh.
Things like that.
I'm already known as the guy who made 1,000 videos about Brie Larson. The action, it's got to be live. It's got to be in the moment. I also have to admit that I really dislike Brie Larson.
Really? Though Jeremy may be capable of...
Really, Jeremy? You don't like Brie Larson? They couldn't fucking tell. Yeah, no. He has thousands of Brie Larson videos. Brie Larson just seems like a really chill person. I honestly, listen, no joke. Of all the celebrities I would like to interview at some point, if I got a chance to interview Brie Larson and talk to her about Nintendo shit, in a heartbeat. I feel like she enjoys that stuff. Brie Larson is just the scapegoat. She was the Rachel Zegler of the 2019. They always find a new sacrificial lamb. You ever watch the episode of South Park with Britney Spears where her head gets blown off? And they're like, oh, it's a new sacrifice for the harvest, and ends with Miley Cyrus at the next harvest. Brie Larson is the proof that happens. She was the sacrifice, and ever since then, they've been having diminishing returns looking for their next sacrifice. Yeah. Anyway. The Wicker Man. It was the Wicker Man parody episode. I think it was Wicker Man parody anyway. Still. The lottery. It was with the lottery or the Wicker Man. It could be both, I guess. He killed the buffalo. Yeah, no. So yeah. What got the quartering taken down was the same thing that WatchMojo did, and that Oddly Noah did, and that I'm not doing, fighting their critics.
At user underscore 225 underscore CCC super chatted $4.99. Between the hot wifing, bathroom overshare, face card that declined 20 years ago, and desperate need for horse Ozempic,
oh God,
I think he gets off on humiliation.
Maybe. I would never make fun of Jeremy for his weight or his hair, but I will make fun of him for his ideas.
At Jaking5688
of which there are plenty.
Super chatted $2. Who is worse, Zoenst Ethan or Drunk Jermery?
Zionist Ethan or Drunk Jeremy. Different brands of awful. The thing is, H3H though, Ethan still knows what he's doing in terms of making content that is at least watchable. Ethan also, by the way, Ethan gets some content here too. Where he called out Jeremy years ago as well. Didn't really stick, unfortunately. So again, multiple big creators have called Jeremy out before this, and it went nowhere. Ethan makes content that's watchable. As a result, he is actually more influential than the Quartering is. Now, do I think his content's good? No. I've never really liked, I never vibe with H3H3 ever. I never vibe with Ethan's content. I don't watch it and I don't enjoy it. It's not something I can ever watch. Even back when I was a teenager, I didn't like it. But if we're comparing Ethan to Jeremy, Ethan is more competent at what he does, which makes him more detestable in my eyes. Jeremy, I think, is utterly pathetic as a human being. I think he is terrible. But I also think he's pathetic. He's terrible in a way that makes him more of a laughingstock, whereas with Ethan, I find his politics abhorrent. Yeah. And Ethan also did something in terms of the legal system that helped with a lot of YouTubers with React content, so I have to own that to some degree. It was the lawsuit that Ethan won back in, again, about fair use. That is the tool I used, that legal precedent, to beat Lily Orchard when she DMCA struck me. That was what I used to get my videos brought back. Citing that legal precedent, citing that legal case. That was valuable. So for that, Ethan did something very good for the community, and then he pissed off everyone else by just being a terrible person. Jeremy has contributed nothing valuable to society ever. He has done nothing of any use to anyone at any point during his 2 decades on YouTube. He is completely useless. And we're going to get into more detail as to how useless he is in just a moment, because I have to run to the lavatory. Everyone here should get a drink of something, go to the bathroom, do whatever it is that you want to do to chill out, because we're going to dive into some very humiliating stuff in just a second, and I want to make sure we're all on our best to give it the attention it deserves. I'll be right back in about 2 minutes, maybe even less. Until then, here's some very loud, smooth music. That's not smooth at all. I lied to you just now. Right back. right, we are back. Wrong one. There we go. We're back. Pause the music. Yeah, that took only 2.5 minutes. That was fine. Small break. No big deal. We're back here. Didn't take you that long. All right, back to where we were, right? Let's keep going. So, what started all this? Well, thankfully, we know where.
The comments on this video are vastly different than the last. They are still in the same spirit, but are cryptic with their messaging. Quote, "The casino sends its regards, Quarter Pounder. Bro, rule number 1 of the internet, never feed the trolls. The house always wins." Unquote.
You're asking them to do super chats. You're asking them to get channel memberships. You're asking them to do memberships at thequartering.com, Rumblecast, watch the videos, watch the ads, and then they also have to buy the coffee? Like how much more do you need?
Content creators PPP and Andy Worski have been online for a very long time. They are internet jesters, and together they are the Kino Casino. Unlike Jeremy's prior opposition, their motivation for choosing their targets is not influenced by politics. They don't take themselves or their critiques all too seriously. They do accentuate the absurdity of infamous figures, covering their antics on their live streams spread across months, maybe even years. In Jeremy's case, they are the worst enemy to have because the Kino Casino does what Jeremy does, only infinitely better. Jeremy draws online stalemates by sheer attrition or manipulation. He uploads so many videos against his targets and selectively edits them that accurately responding to them all is unfeasible. Such was the case with Tolarian Community College and the H3 podcast. He can maintain his ironically skeptic audience with his deception, knowing that they will only ever watch his video on the matter. The Kino Casino, however, just like Jeremy, weaves narratives about creators they cover. Where Jeremy is reliant on a handful of pejoratives that he uses indiscriminately, the Kino Casino is far more crude, specific, and unconcerned with their insults, as Jeremy would later find. At first, their coverage of Jeremy began in 2024. It was mostly through...
So I want to stop right there for a second. Kino Casino, do I like their channel? No. Not a fan of Kino Casino. Just not my kind of shit. I haven't watched them all that much. Not the kind of thing I like to watch. But the point is that they're the perfect asshole to target to Quartering. You see, the thing with the Quartering is he is an asshole, and many people who are not assholes, and Ethan Klein, have responded to him over the years. But the perfect person to go against one asshole or two even bigger assholes in the same sphere Jeremy occupies. That's what it is. And because there's such an overlap between Kino Casino and the Quartering, because Kino Casino does what the Quartering does arguably better than he does, they were perfect. They're shock jocks. Yeah, they're shock jocks. And, you know, that's what they ultimately are. Who do you root for in the fight, the puke or the piss? Listen, here's what I think in general. Listen. This fire only took place because it happened in his house. Kino Casino is Jeremy's house. They are the overlapping audience. They are the people who watch Kino Casino also watch Jeremy. And because of that, the back and forth here was the perfect storm to destroy the Quartering. That was what it was. That was the perfect solution. Because there is no way to endure when a house is divided amongst itself. One side will win. And because they are the perfect people to... I do see the 666 candles there. Wanji, I do see that. Is that Capsule Corp? The Capsule Corp logo? Maybe just too Dragon Ball Z brained. The point is, though, that the Kino Casino were people in Jeremy's... There's an overlap. So because of that, when they turned against Jeremy, the whole thing fell apart.
stories he was tangential to. If anything, they were following Styx Hexenhammer more. Interest in Jeremy grew when Styx failed to show up to his live show. This is when Jeremy found out live that his co-host had been arrested for domestic violence. Jeremy then spent the rest of the stream attempting to bail him out, even asking...
Okay, maybe I'm a little personal about this, but I received weeks of criticism for one thing, involving a peer of mine doing like a thing wrong, which I responded to immediately and criticized them for. Jeremy bails out his co-host for domestic assault. I don't know. Just seems to me like the standards are slightly askew there, but what are you going to do? Anyway, yeah, so that's how Jeremy got their attention. He wasn't even the main target, but he made himself one. No one cares about Styx. Everyone cares about the Quartering, because the Quartering made himself the story.
If any audience members lived near Styx to walk over the documentation needed for bail. It was not until around April 2025 that the Kino Casino had an invested interest in the Quartering. Again...
Oh, and he stayed on after... So hang on. Styx was arrested for domestic assault and then stayed on with the Quartering for over, like, how much time? Jesus. So how long was he on the podcast after domestic assault? I imagine that it might be worth firing him over that, because he committed domestic, which is a crime. He was arrested for it. Jesus Christ. That's the thing also with all this accountability bullshit. Again, the Quartering should have received pushback for supporting and hiring a domestic abuser, knowing he was a domestic abuser. That should have been like already, if any other YouTuber bailed out and continued to work with a domestic abuser who was proven to be a domestic abuser, that right there would be cancelable right there. That would be the thing that destroys their career. On live, specifically. But because it's the Quartering, because his audience doesn't care about that, he gets away with it. Do you see how crazy it is that nothing took him down sooner? How, from the outside perspective, we're criticizing this guy. We're pointing out all the things he does wrong. And it's this that destroys him. The fire being inside the house. Because we are letting the fire blocks away. When we criticize him for this, it's not affecting him because he can leverage that for his own success. The left wants to cancel me. The left hates me. That is the tool which people should consider and understand. If your enemy does not like you, it is not something to respond to. It is leverage to show how they're targeting you. Potentially. It is so funny that the cuckoldry is what destroys Jeremy and not allowing a domestic abuser to be on your podcast. Ethan does the same. Yeah, exactly. They all do the same. People are exceptional when it comes to people in their sphere. But I like to think about with the Oddly Noah stuff that happened. Because again, that's still fresh in my brain. Yes. Was the response ineffective at the time? Yes. We profusely apologized for it. We talked about it. Everyone in the sphere has discussed it and taken accountability for their small part or larger part for how that story allowed itself to pervade itself. However, when it came out, he was doing worse. Everyone dropped him across the board. Within 2 months, the story was resolved. Jeremy was supporting a domestic abuser for a very long time, and that story gets kind of glossed over because it's not the downfall. It's not the Jeremy's specific actions, but that right there should have been enough. But it wasn't, because the fire was coming from outside the house.
And partly because of Styx, who admitted to be working for Jeremy.
So basically, it's like how Channel Awesome was massively criticized for protecting Drew Wario, even though they knew he was a sexual predator. Yes, entirely so. For those who don't know, Drew Wario was a creator who is associated with Channel Awesome. Now, we got a dead name Noah. Noah's not dead named. Oddly, Noah is not his name. It's anyway. So, didn't Sydney Watson make accusations against Quartering? I don't know if Sydney Watson did. I'm not sure about that one. I think so. Anyway, the point is that what was I getting at right just now? Drew Wario, yes. So Drew Wario was a creator on Channel Awesome, formerly that guy with the glasses. And by the way, I've become friendly with some of the former Channel Awesome members. They're all really cool. They're really sweet. They were unaware that Drew Wario was anything but Drew Wario, the creator. But it turned out he was a prolific sexual predator. And the higher-ups at Channel Awesome knew about it and didn't fire him. They kept him around. They actually protected him and shielded him from accusations. And Drew Wario ended his own life. Everyone was very sad. They mourned him. People, his friends who didn't know what he was doing, had like memorials on their set. I think Bennett the Sage specifically had like a little Drew Wario hat he kept on his set for at least a year, I think. Yeah. No, Angry Joe was upset. A lot of them were deeply upset because it was their peer, their friend who died. And then they heard the stories.
At Maryland 614 super chatted $5.10 on a less gross tangent, yet somehow related. Anthony, who is the king of self-inflicting pain for entertainment, Jackie Chan or Mick Foley?
Oh, it's a close one. I'm gonna say Jackie Chan. But Mick Foley's close. I'll give you that. Mick Foley's very close. Yeah, no. So, yeah, no. They all upset, you know. How that you had it on set for a while as well. Yeah, no, they all did. Like Linkara, Mars Girl, Angry Joe, Spoonie. They all had that. Bennett the Sage. They all had a lot of stuff about him, and it's awful because like, oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, exactly.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $2. Linkara kept a Wario hat until the truth was out.
Yeah, no, 100%. And Linkara is very loyal to his friends, I've seen. I've gotten to know him a little bit in the last year because I've streamed with him a couple times. He's very loyal to those who he cares about. And so I can tell that deeply hurt him too. They all got deeply hurt by it. It was awful. Like, it's a peer who you work with and film productions with who died, and that's how you find out their legacy. It's awful. It's truly awful. Yeah, family, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Mars Girl's upset, 100%, yeah. And Mars Girl's been on our stream a few times, too. And has done work for the channel, I might want to add as well. Mars Girl showed up in one of my recent videos, actually.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $2. Caitlin made a damn movie in JW's memory. Whoops.
Yeah, exactly. No, they're awful. It's awful. And so the thing is, online, if you're a prolific enough creator, you will eventually interact with people who do horrible things. But the trick is how you respond to it. I think giving people a chance, even after they make a mistake, is a good thing. I think everyone should have a chance to redeem themselves within reason. But there are some things you cannot redeem yourself from, and domestic abuse and sexual assault are two things you cannot bounce back from, in my opinion. Once you do that, you're fucked. I'm also going to be amazing video by Vic Mignogna. Yeah, fantastic video. Absolutely worth watching. Agreed. Absolutely excellent. Like, there's something... I do not regret giving Noah a chance when his accusations came out, because I thought he could do better. I feel stupid for believing he could, but my instinct to help people, I don't regret. I think it's vital to want to give people a second chance. Because if you think they can actually do better and improve, that's good. But Jeremy is not giving this guy a second chance because he can improve. He's giving him a chance so he can avoid consequences. That's not the same thing. A lot of creators hope their friends are good people. Because I think most people on this platform are on the deepest level, essentially good people. When you trust people, that can leave you vulnerable, basically. You know? It's fair to give people the space to try to do better. It's ethical. Yeah, agreed. I think everyone deserves a chance if they screw up or do something wrong to improve. A chance. Singular. After that, fuck them. That's my opinion. Give them a chance. Show they can do something with that chance. And if they don't, fuck them. Fuck them. That's what I think. In this case, Jeremy heard his co-host live got arrested for domestic assault. Fuck him. Leave him in jail. Let him sit there. Find a new co-host. You don't need a domestic abuser on your side. I don't care how long you've been friends. That's awful. I don't care. Yeah, that's it. Fuck him. Oh, here we go. Here's a check coming in.
At Super Chatted $4.99. Do you think Doug Walker's minor comeback was undeserved after Oni Plays made him a little bit more popular again?
Yeah. I think it's undeserved. He was always going to bounce back at some point, but yeah, I think it was undeserved. A lot of it was lifting from Oni Plays' success. I do feel like he didn't. I feel like his content was not why he returned. He didn't make better material. He didn't improve as a person. I don't think he just became a meme. Mr. Enter shows that you can redeem yourself after making various screw-ups. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Enter tried really hard to overcome the issues that he did, and that's a good thing, I think. Yeah. Anyway, back to this.
Basically for free, likely to pay off his bail, and on a live show, fell asleep.
He's not happy right now. He's staring at Styx, and Styx is just in a blissful dream state on drugs. He's like, what do we do with this guy?
This can't.
Look at Quartering, bro. He's very displeased right now.
Jeremy fired Styx because of this blunder. The Kino Casino proceeded to cover Jeremy as one of their main targets. Initially, their coverage was on Jeremy's business-related videos.
Yeah, so he fired him because he annoyed him, ultimately. Anyway, he fell asleep on stream. Yeah, exactly. So he was going to fire him, but not for the domestic abuse, for being inconvenient to him.
Particularly the ones where Jeremy attributes political beliefs to anyone that...
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $2. What is it with Oni and LS Mark seeing past Doug's BS?
Seeing past it or submitting to it? Who knows? I don't know.
and negatively affected his business. Jeremy was now dealing with a truly declining channel, a possibly failing business, and the Kino Casino. This is likely why he uploaded this video on May 20th.
Here we go.
This year has been the most stressful, most difficult year of content creation that I've ever had.
Naturally, to counter the stress, Jeremy was tweeting about expanding his RC collection, teasing at more RC videos. On stream and his podcast with Melanie Mack, and now Hannah Claire, a former employee of Tim Pool, Jeremy would speak of buying watches for around $10,000. On separate occasions, he would talk about the customized Cybertruck he owns and how he's thinking of selling it. On Twitter, users pointed out how Jeremy was flaunting his wealth and weaponizing outrage even more for money. He simply responded with, "Stop being poor, F slur." As to only dig himself a deeper hole, he responded to the Kino Casino covering him, calling PPP the only guy fatter than him on the internet, and Andy Worski a burnt-out cokehead. Also adding, quote, "By the way, I'm happy to join these clowns any night on a stream," unquote. The Kino Casino, a live stream and clip channel much smaller than Jeremy, had successfully gotten his attention. Now that they have evidence that Jeremy is aware of their insults, they are motivated to cover him even more, especially now that in June he was continuing to flaunt his wealth by purchasing a massive saltwater fish tank. Only 19 days later, Jeremy uploaded a video titled, "I'm destroying my channel." In the video,
You can't make this shit up. So, you just can't make this shit up. So he antagonizes his critics, flaunts his wealth, and then e-begs. All in short succession. All in short succession. Oh, Jeremy is, I'm not gonna play the whole video, obviously, because this is like a 3.5 hour video. I do recommend watching the thing for yourself. It's an epic of exhausting proportions. However, the Quartering is $300,000 in debt. $300,000. But he makes a lot of money. Makes a lot of money. But one thing I want to point out here that I thought was very interesting. Where was it? It was around here. It was around somewhere here that they mentioned it. What I thought was very interesting. Right here. Cool. Excellent. Around here, I think. This is really interesting stuff. Let's cut ahead a little bit. So Jeremy is going back and forth with Kino Casino for like a year.
Cap, you just ignored it completely?
What? In late October, the Kino Casino grew even more aggressive with their coverage of Jeremy. Their fans, it did their part.
Jeremy's a Ukraine supporter. No. I do like your username, though. The Porcelain Punisher.
All of this attention towards Jeremy was going to pay off, especially as he continued to post information related to his earnings.
Okay, so this right here is fascinating. This is his Rumble data. On screen, it says he earned $26,151 in 30 days. So he is making $26,000 a month from Rumble alone. That's not his coffee sales or his merch sales, whatever, his donations. It's just Rumble. But here's what I think it's interesting. He has 6.5 million views in 30 days. That's a lot. That's a massive number. However, he only has 195,000 hours watched. Now, why is that significant? Why should that matter? Well, over 6 million views, 6.5 million views, right? If you have, and mind you, this is streams he has on here, not just his short form content. He has his big stuff here. This is like his big videos. So what is the average watch time of a video that the Quartering puts out? 6.5 million views, under 200,000 hours watched. That means per view, about a minute and a half. About a minute and a half per view. So they're watching his content for minuscule amounts of time. By the way, that's the average. A minute and a half. That means some people click off, a big chunk click off after 30 seconds. Maybe some stay for the full hour. Who knows? Or 2 hours, or 3 hours. I mean, however long the video is. Because it's not just simply his short form content, it's all his content. Let me tell you something else, too, that's interesting. Do you know who has more monthly hours watched? What creator here has more hours per month watched? Me. I have more hours a month watched than the Quartering. Let that sink in a second. I have more hours watched than the Quartering. And this month specifically, I've had about 1.3 million views, roughly. I have a sixth, essentially, of the views he has. And to be quite honest with you, almost double the hours watched. If not more. And my videos are shorter than some of his stuff on there. Because he does his long-ass streams he uploads to the site. That's all his views. On Rumble. So, that's the thing. I also make more engaging content. Even when I'm stuttering, even when I'm slow with my words, even when I'm not saying things effectively, you're listening to more of what I'm saying. For longer. I'm more engaging, I guess. He is so bad at what he does. He can't keep his viewers engaged. And I'm not the only one that noticed this.
Like in mid-October when he showed his previous 30 days of earnings on Rumble, amounting to 26,000. That's not all. He also got 6 million viewers and 195,000 hours viewed by those viewers. Though Jeremy streams 4 hours on end, these stats meant that a viewer, on average, watched only 1 minute and 47 seconds of his content.
That's even worse because he's streaming for 4 hours. He is, mind you, on average, I stream about 3 hours or so. I might go over sometimes, but I usually stop under the 4-hour mark. Usually. Despite that, my average viewer time on my streams is decent. 1.5 minutes.
At Poliostasis super chatted $3.61. Do have any opinions on the drama slop to school shish tear pipeline? He's been raided by a ton of slop consumers and nuanced discussion was evaporated.
Do you mean my friend Noah as opposed to my former friend Noah? Do you mean Crimes New Romans video? Crimes New Roman is being attacked by slop tubers. That's true. If I'm thinking of the right video. I'm being honest, I still haven't watched the video. I'm sorry, Noah. I'm sorry, Crimes New Roman. I still haven't watched it yet. I know, it's awful. But, so I can't configure the content of the video itself, but I think that a lot of people are protesting too much. I think if you have so many people having to vocally react to the video so quickly that something's going on there. It reminds me of when I did my, YouTube critics are lying to you video and EFAP responded to it within 24 hours, which is kind of weird. Why would you respond to a random nobody's video that quickly? It's pretty substantial. They're trying to fight that. Yeah, Crimes New Roman is another Noah, but that's a good Noah. We like that Noah. That Noah's good, not the other Noah. I feel bad sometimes when Crimes is listen to me talk about the other Noah, being like, oh, fuck Noah. Not you, Noah, the other Noah. It's funny. Yeah, no, Crimes does excellent work. Crimes was telling us, a bunch of us actually, that he's been contacted, they've been contacted by, I've been contacted by academics over that video. It's being cited in academic work because of how effective it is. And it's a good case study too. So, there you go. So, there you go. No more Noahs. No one else on my channel is allowed to be named Noah. I'm sorry, future collaborators. I'm sorry, the Spoonie one, if you ever want to collaborate with me. I can't have another Noah on chat. Sorry. It was the only other Noah I could think of on YouTube that was, quickly.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $2. My favorite Pixar movie, The Good Noah.
The Good Noah. I love that. That's funny. Crimes was telling me how the video was being said by academics. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty cool stuff. Spoonie name drop. I mentioned everyone else on channel also already. I must have mentioned Spoonie. That's what got my mind on that. Anyway, listen to this real quick.
Something is not quite right about these stats.
Yeah.
Noel, the owner of Kiwi Farms, then posted his stats as a direct comparison. Quote, both of us are showing you the last 30.
At the guy 493 super chatted $2. The Good Noah and the Good Lily.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a nickel.
Exactly. If I had a nickel, we have 2 nickels, which is a lot, but it happened twice, right? Yeah, no, that's the funny thing, too. I'll talk about Lily, and it's like, you mean Lily Orchard? Like, no, I mean Lily Goth, Kinky Mation. She's great. Love Lily Mation. It's funny how much overlap there is between my community and hers. It's wild. Anyway, but yeah, right here is interesting.
Days. Let's do a quick comparison. Jeremy gets approximately 48 times more views, but only 5.6 times as much money. Jeremy gets approximately 48 times more views, but only 2.75 times the watch hours. What is driving me crazy is the last part, 2.75 times the watch hours, unquote. Regardless of Jeremy's.
Yeah. The numbers just don't make sense. Unless people click in for 5 seconds and leave. That's about it. That's the only way it makes sense. Jeremy is so unengaging that when he did that, it exposed just how little people actually watch him. Because they click in for a little bit, they get the rage dosage, and then they leave. Because, and this is the most important thing, Jeremy has no fucking talent. I criticize a lot of grifters online. I do. There are a lot of things to criticize. But for as much as I'll criticize the Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, Mauler, Rags, Jester Bell, who else do I criticize regularly? There's a few. There's a bunch of them. Okay. This is going to be a bit of a controversial statement. Even Shadiversity, Shad M. Brooks himself, has more talent than the Quartering. That is one of the few times I will ever compliment Shad. Even he has more talent than the Quartering. Yeah. Because even he is able to engage his audience more than Jeremy can. Low bar, I know. But when you got DSP telling you you're a loser, that tells you something, doesn't it? The bar is in hell, yes. But I gotta give credit where it's due. Because they can still do the reason why Critical Drinker is the most successful of the media grifters is not because he's particularly smart. It's because he has good presentation with his ideas. And that's the big thing. If you present your ideas in a way that's appealing and engaging to your audience, they will watch. I will criticize the Critical Drinker for a lot of things. He is at least engaging and quick. He gives the appearance of intelligence. The Quartering does not. The Quartering does not give the... And I want to emphasize this right now. I'm not really saying the appearance of intelligence means you're not intelligent. I mean, it shows your intelligence. That's important.
At Poliostasis super chatted $3.61. Would be interesting to see you react to Crimes New Romans video at some point. I don't necessarily agree with everything, but most of it I can agree.
But that'd be like reacting to any video that gets overly attacked. I feel like it's just bombarding
At
after a while.
MarkM1575 super chatted $5. And giving Jester Bell and Shad credit? It's the end of days, y'all.
Yeah.
Fearful face.
It is. I'm being honest. Yeah. Second Story, another example. Better presentation. She has more of an identity as a creator than Jeremy does. Jeremy is remarkable in how piss poor his work is. Did Shad ever respond to the new book review? No, he did not. I think because Shad realizes the same lesson that Jeremy should have realized before. Shutting the fuck up can be beneficial to your career long term. The biggest mistake Shad ever did was respond to me and to respond to Jack Saint. And to respond to Sellsword Arts. That fucked him up badly. His inability to keep his mouth shut negatively impacted him. But yeah, this is a big thing.
Peculiar stats, he has now shown that through one revenue source, he has made $26,000, spending more than half of that in November on an RC track.
What kind of dirt did we use? Well, we used what they call baseball mix, like what they use for baseball diamonds. How much? Well, it was about $10,000 to do this.
Why would you... Why? Why would you buy this? Why would you build this with your money? $10,000 for frickin' little toy race cars. For RC cars, you know, little remote control cars that kids use. $10,000. Jesus Christ.
If you
and I get pissed when I see like a bill that comes in for like a necessary construction that's more, because we do construction around the house. We do work around the house, you know. And it's always like, oh, that's a lot of money. Oh, that's a shame. And I feel like, oh, is there a better deal? Can you get a second estimate? Like, what's going on? And he's just throwing out $10,000 on an RC track, a luxury decision. And he's e-begging online. I don't e-beg. I make encouragement. Oh, here's a goal for super chats, whatever. But I'm not begging for money online. That being said, though, if you give me money, it'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool if you do, but not necessary. But it's like, because, you know, I respect the integrity of my audience. If you don't want to spend money, don't spend money. Don't worry about it. But this is bullshit. This is bullshit.
You do it yourself, probably going to be $4,000 to $5,000. That shipping container was like $5,000 or $6,000, and I installed vents and solar lighting on the top, and inside I've run power, but I'm not going to include that. That's like a luxury.
He's not even going to get to use it even one time. I don't know if this is going to survive the winter.
Think about it. $10,000 for the track, $4,000 for the shipping container, $14,000. How much is he asking for the
he said
GoFundMe?
$14,000.
Jeremy was indeed fundraising that amount of money for an upcoming trip.
I bought the equipment so that we could do our show live. I want to be able to interview like Russell Brand,
So,
Jack Posobiec.
He just admitted he already bought all the equipment. Okay.
Help us do this. I would be eternally thankful. And then we would also have all the equipment to do more.
So while he's wasting his cash on a fucking RC track, he's begging his audience for $5,000.
Jonathan Frostathan super chatted $4.99. People will watch if you present your ideas well. Fair statement, but how does Asmongold have an audience as big as it is?
Asmongold. Yeah, I got nothing with that one. I'm sorry. I don't know why people watch Asmongold. I mean, I get it. I get why, but I find him painfully dull. I'm not an Asmongold fan. Beyond the politics of it, I find him very like boring to listen to. But I guess it's like easy to listen to. I guess that's kind of why he's very easy people to passively listen to. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. But I digress. Because people hate Hassan more. Yeah, that's also true. People hate Hassan. Yeah. Anyway.
Or live events.
But you already
so we would
bought
have
the
all the
equipment.
equipment.
Yeah. You already bought the equipment. You just told us you bought the equipment. What the fuck is this?
So this is another reason why Jeremy fell apart. The e-begging. It's kind of hypocritical. We see him spending the money, and he's begging for more money to do things that are necessary for his channel, sure, or at least can help his channel grow, sure. Like live show, that can help. Doing interviews with people who are major in your community, like the fucking Nazi Jack Posobiec, yeah, fine, okay. But like, it's unnecessary. But Jack Posobiec, he is the Nazi, right? Am I making a mistake? Am I confusing with someone else? You know what? He's a figure of some kind.
This is fucking a scam, bro. Okay, here we go.
You guys can help us out with something because it cost about $14,000 for me to pay for the crew and to buy the.
Yeah. So one last thing I want to bring up here is this. This right here.
Jeremy brought on guests, spoke of the convention, and fumbled much, to the extent that he misnamed his guest from the organization Gays Against Groomers as Gays for Groomers.
So we've got someone from Gays for Groomers coming on.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's just funny. That's so bad. That's so terrible. But yeah, that's the gist of it, you know? Oh, Jesse, hey, what's up? Hey, Jesse, how's it going? Yeah, Jessie, gender in chat, friend of the channel. She's awesome. Jessie has a really good video that came out recently about left-wing revolutionist art. That's really fantastic. You should watch it. You may hear a familiar voice in it. Absolutely fantastic video. Take a look at it. But yeah, no. So yeah, you're getting the shout out, Jessie. You're getting the shout out. You deserve it. So. The point of all this is that he scammed his audience out of, like, listen, I'll be honest with you. There are times where I think if I spent so much money on an idea to go to a convention, interviewing people, maybe have a meetup of some kind and do some event on my own dime, that'd be really cool, but, it might cost a lot of money. I should save that money for my family. This guy is spending $14,000 on an RC track and power supply, then begging his audience for $5,000 more for a show after he already bought all the equipment with his own money. Like, there's crowdfunding for a production, and then there's a scam. This is a scam. He is pissing away his goodwill. Also, Jesse, take a bow for yourself. Your work is fantastic, and you deserve everyone to know that. But yeah, no, this is insane. This is... Imagine Ant in 5 years going to do gamers sponsorships and rambling about the power scaling in some shonen shows. Listen, I don't know about gamer subs, but I'll ramble about power scaling right now. If it's a good video, I'll talk about power scaling. It sounds fun.
At Tall King Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $1.99. Enter is talking about Ryan's TADC review.
Oh my goodness, I can't with Ryan for another second. But yeah, no. So what makes this, again, as I've been saying before, the reason this took off is not because people criticize them. As talked about before, people have been criticizing the quartering for years now across all other factions. The only reason this is a problem is because the fire is coming from inside his house. It's because these guys who have an overlapping audience with the quartering are pointing out the things that everyone else has been saying for a very long time at this point. In this Junior King video, he eventually goes in to talk about how the Kino Casino guys found that clip that the Surfs reacted to like 5-6 years ago and made a big deal in the community with them. So all of this shows the hypocrisy of it all.
At Tall King Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $1.99.
Hell yeah, I love this.
Also, you're on Ryan's banned list.
Hell yeah, I'm on Ryan's ban list. Thank God. Love that. The ban list that includes every single person in the world. Yeah, that one. Okay, cool, good, excellent. That's a whole, I won't get into that right. I don't have time to unpack the whole situation with Ryan. I'm not going to do that right now. It's a whole complicated thing. It involves a lot of complicated pieces. It involves talking with the ACC. No one wants to talk with the race ACC. No, not Ryan Kennel. Different person. It's a whole thing. Anyway, we're not going to do that today. That's a whole other discussion. So let's skip ahead a little bit here to the sexual harassment situation. Yeah, again, watch the video if you want to see all the details. I'm not doing that.
Austin LaPlante 4203 super chatted $2. How has this man-child stayed married?
I don't know. I really don't know how, between everything, because I want to bring up something important here, and that's, where is it? Oh, here we go. So the quartering is copyright striking his critics. He tries taking down he tried using his contacts in YouTube to take down the Kino Casino guys, took down the clipping channel run by their editor. But what I think the thing that summarizes how pathetic the quartering is this clip right here.
I really mean the entire internet.
Among the updates to the casino moving to Rumble and the belief that their clip channel, while still being appealed, is gone forever, the casino showed many clips from Jeremy's Renaissance Fair stream. This one in particular stands out.
This is one of the saddest clips I've ever seen.
Disgusting.
It's such a telling clip where he says he doesn't, not only he doesn't love his wife, he doesn't even care about his wife.
It's weird, but I don't really connect with people in real life. Like even my wife, I don't really care.
Even his wife, he doesn't even care.
It's fucked up. It's probably not normal.
It's not normal.
But I crave companionship of
What? You're married? You crave companionship?
Listen to what he says.
But I crave companionship of anonymous people online. I feel like so often I just leave it all behind and go get like a 2-bedroom apartment. Really
He wants
nice
to
one.
leave it all behind.
It's not sad. Don't be sad. It's not sad.
Mind you, he's drunk at a Ren Fair and starts hitting on women all across the... okay, so some of the things he says include walking up to random women and telling them he wants to put a baby in them. To random women at the Ren Fair. By the way, Jeremy, in case you don't know, is currently banned from all Ren Fairs everywhere forever. He's officially been banned from all Ren Fairs, period, after this stream went viral. After he sexually harassed multiple women in front of their children. In public. While drunk. So, we have someone who attacked his critics, sexually harassed multiple women. There's even a clip here, somewhere here, which I'm not going to dig out because there's so many clips I can use for the site. Unfortunately, a lot of this information is just referencing like Kiwi Farm stuff. So it's I don't want to force my audience to look at Kiwi Farms all day. It's kind of lame. But the point is that this video has completely decimated Jeremy's reputation. Because it did what any good documentary about a person that's terrible can do. It compiled all the
At
information in one
Talking
place.
Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $1.99. Ryan would blow his brains out at Animal Farm.
All right. Let's not fantasize about people harming themselves. Also, I think let's move away from Ryan today. Ryan's not relevant right now. It's Jeremy's story. The point is, he's doing like all this terrible shit. But it's only now that people are calling him out. Because here's the thing people have to realize. What?
At Otto Johnny super chatted $5. I love Kino's speech on not backing down.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's some good. Wait, which Kino? Kino Casino's speech? Oh, here's the thing too. That's important to note. And this is very important here. None of this is new. He's been doing this since the beginning of his career 2 decades ago. None of this is new information. None of this is new. But they didn't care until now. So when people are going like, you have to hold your side accountable. We hold ours. No. They didn't. They only held the Quartering accountable when it was annoying for them to deal with them. When he started causing problems among each other and started attacking people within the circle, that is when they turned on him. All this information has been around for years. None of this is new. With the exception of things that are happening right now, which is just an echo of what came before. None of this is new information. We knew about him being a creep. He's been a creep online for decades. That's the Ren Fair you go to. I don't know about this. That's wild. You might have been there the day he was hitting on people, actually, if you went recently. This is just like a few days, this is like a couple weeks ago, this Ren Fair stuff. Like, none of this is new information. But it's only a problem because the fire started in their house. So, a lesson to any YouTubers out there, and any creators out there. If you're involved with this criticism, always remember, who is saying it? What side is saying it? Did they? Maybe. Are they being more harsh to you than they are to themselves? Why? I mentioned before the whole EFAP thing with them covering me instead of Jeremy. Why is that? Why are they talking about me? Some rando. Tangibly involved in some drama online. when they could be talking about the quartering? Simple. It's to make their shit not stink. That's what it is. But their shit stinks because everyone's shit stinks. That's life. Everyone's shit stinks to some extent. I hate to be gross about it, but that's the reality of it. If you look for it, you'll find dirt. Make a video about the mixtape discourse. I'm unfamiliar with the mixtape discourse. I've been hearing about it, but I haven't been able to check it out because I've been doing research for this video and working on a big video I'm working on right now. By the way, Jesse, I may ask you to read a quote. Hope you don't mind. I may reach out to you about something. I'm working on something. I'm cooking up something interesting about. That's fun. But still, it's reminded me of Keffals. It wasn't until her former friends started talking about her that she truly lost her fan base. Keffals did a lot of mean stuff too. Keffals was cruel to people. Like really cruel to a lot of people. Some of the comments she said about, again, I don't want to use Jessie as an example because I know she was in chat, but some of the comments Keffals said about Jessie was just fucking mean. Like just unqualified for and cruel. Like why? What's the value in that? But no, it's awful. People are mean online, but until she starts attacking her friends, no one cared. Yeah, so Jeremy was fine until he started ratting out his friends. And one thing that June does not mention is that the Quartering got into a huge fight with the other media grifters shortly before all this happened. He started antagonizing, I think it was Geeks and Gamers specifically, by saying publicly on videos that their views were down, which they are in fact down, relative speaking, of course. But the Quartering ultimately turned against all of his friends, attacked all of them, criticized all of them, made them feel like nothing, antagonized all of them, and he was left with no one on his side. He pissed off everyone. And when there was blood in the water, they took him down. Yeah, Ben Shapiro versus Candace Owens. Yeah, exactly. Same concept applies. When you piss off all your friends, you get enemies. And you want friends on your side. If not just for the sake of being with people who are like-minded and can support you, at the very least, people who are generous and kind to you, who can be on you, who can support you. But as we saw ourselves, Jeremy doesn't like friends. He doesn't even like his wife, who he abandoned at the avocado section while he went to shit himself in the Walmart. Do you really want this man to have other men just like him constantly supporting his terrible behavior? No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't want that. But I'm saying what he's doing is stupid. It's so stupid. His downfall is the dumbest shit I have ever seen. Because it's one thing to piss off your enemies. Let that fuel you. Let that invigorate your channel. Use that as leverage to say, these people are targeting me, but I am rising above it. I am stronger than they are. I am better. You can use that to your advantage as a channel like this. Take the rage of your enemies and fuel it with your own fire. But instead, you targeted your friends. All of them. For nothing. For absolutely nothing. What did he get out of this? What reward was there in targeting his peers?
At Maryland 614 super chatted $2.03. Stupid and unnecessary, and it didn't have to be.
Exactly. No one should be defending a creep. I agree with you. No one should be defending a creep. He is a creep who should not be defended. Yet they still did for many years. For decades. For decades they did. Hell, DSP looks like the more sane person by comparison. Fucking DSP is by comparison the voice of reason here. How do you do that? How do you succeed at this? Somehow, Darkside Phil comes across as the bigger man in this scenario, and he wasn't even playing at this game. But again, this is not news to the people criticizing him. This has always been who Jeremy is. He has always been a colossal loser with no talent. Because I want to right now, before we get too comfortable, ask ourselves something very important. We're going to do something that no one else has done in a while. We are going to watch a quartering video. Not just a quartering video. We are going to watch the most popular quartering video he's ever produced. To see what appeal at his very best was there. And I think it's important to do this. We are going to do this. We're going to sit and watch his most popular video in his main channel. And the reason we're going to do this is very simple. I want to show you not only is the quartering talentless, but the quartering has never had talent, even at his
Auto
best.
Johnny super chatted $5. By making enemies and burning bridges with his allies leaves has left him with no one.
Exactly.
At 000 Agent 88 super chatted $2. How much money to skip?
None for this one. And we're not going to watch the whole thing. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I want to watch what the average quartering viewer watches. As we determined, the average quartering viewer only watches 1.5 minutes of his content. Therefore, we will watch 1.5 minutes of his most popular video. Because that's what the average quartering viewer experience is. So let's watch, let's get inside the head of the average quartering fan for 1.5 minutes.
Man, I've been missing some serious high-quality roasts. Now, it's no surprise, it's no news to you that the Avengers cast all love Brie Larson, the savior, the new face of Marvel. And there's been a huge press junket going on recently where most of the Avengers are touring around, one or two of the original cast along with Brie Larson, which I'm sure is on purpose so that they're ushering in the new face of Marvel, which totally makes sense, and I understand every reason why they're doing it. But out of this press tour has come some absolutely merciless ribbing. Some of it seems good-natured, while other parts of it seem like there's a general disdain for Brie Larson. So let's see. Let's do little greatest hits of all the great roasts in just the past few days. And also we're going to talk about Brie Larson's little who white lie about doing all her own stunts.
I am committed to self-improvement, and I work at being the best person that I can be and using this platform for as much good as I can. But it doesn't mean that I don't make mistakes, but I'm very comfortable with that and allowing myself to learn from those mistakes.
No, I don't know if Renner is, I mean, he looked.
At Verivetrana super chatted $1.79. I love your
thank you so
content,
much.
Red Heart. Thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you saying that. I really do.
Looks completely uninterested. Now, some background on the question is the interviewer said, hey, do you view your celebrity as like a responsibility?
Okay, that's it. So let me tell you something right now. Let me ask you all a question, chat. And this is an important quote here. Usually in strong structure, you start with your core argument. And then you include, as you transition gradually through the argument, you move into specific details, supporting details. What supporting details did we hear today? What about it? What did any of you hear? What was the point of that video? What did we actually learn in the first minute and a half of this video? Not a fucking thing. That's what. Not a goddamn tiny, minuscule little doodah something. We didn't hear jack shit. Hell, a New Jack match would have been started and finished in the time it took for Jeremy to say jack nothing. And I didn't even say the Army of Darkness quote that I know people in chat are saying right now. You ain't live with two things, Jack and shit, and Jack left town. Yeah, no. And by the way, shout out to anyone who knows who New Jack is. You got your extreme wrestling reference for the month.
At L1V3W1R3D super chatted $2. Whataboutism?
Exactly. And the reason why the house that Jack built, exactly. The reason why New Jack City, so New Jack based his name off of New Jack City. So it's actually a reference to New Jack City, but New Jack himself it's a whole thing. If you don't know who New Jack is, I recommend you take a look at New Jack. He's, watch the Dark Side of Wrestling episode about New Jack specifically. It's actually one of the best episodes, I think. It's fantastic. Or Super Eye Patch Wolf. He did some stuff on New Jack. Point is, though, that, in that time, he said nothing because he realized. Now, there's two explanations. There's the smart idea, and then there's the reality. Now, someone could argue that the quartering is avoiding saying that the got a new driver installation. That's cool. I'll take care of that later. Some people could argue that the quartering is saying all this because he wants to keep people's interest. He wants to keep them watching to increase the watch time. In actuality, though, the reason he does this is because he's an inarticulate jackass who doesn't know how to get to the point fast enough. You see, Nerdrotic does something very similar with his videos, where he keeps you engaged while saying nothing at all by padding out the video with clips. Early on. That keeps you engaged for the first 30 seconds, which YouTube then uses as a metric for the video's success down the road. If you last those first 30 seconds, it pushes you harder in the algorithm. The quartering, though, rambles because he makes low-effort slop. So, in this time, you don't even know what the fucking video is about. You don't know anything. This is his most successful video. And in the average watch time for his channel, he has told you nothing. Not a damn thing. Because he has nothing worth saying. Bet Anthony's drinking whole milk out of this whole stream. No, I'm just drinking water. It's just water. It really is just water and a little coffee. The point is, I don't really drink milk, actually. I'm not a milk fan. By the way, you don't want to drink milk while recording anything because it actually gags up your throat. I only know that because of watching voice actors in conventions talk about like voice acting stuff and then becoming friends with voice actors who told me the same thing. Anyway, why do you care, Joe? Who's Joe? Joe Dex. Bet Anthony drinking milk, whole milk out of that stein. No, that's all good. No, I'm not drinking whole milk. It's all good. Not a milk fan. I'm not a milk fan either. I don't like milk. Not really. That being said, though, dragon's milk. Chat. Who in chat has had dragon's milk before? Anyone had dragon's milk? Dragon's milk's pretty good. Like maybe 5 people have had dragon's milk. Yeah, I like dragon's milk. Dragon's milk's good. No one knows what dragon's milk is. Dragon's milk gang rise up. If you like dragon's milk, make sure in chat you mention it. Yeah, what's a paladin? Yes, dragon's milk is real. You can buy it at your local alcohol store, I guess. It's a stout Dragon's Milk's a stout. It's his name. It's not literally Dragon's Milk. It's just a fancy name for it. Has a nice color. Has a nice. Better off the tap than from the bottle. I'll say that right now. It's very very heavy but good. Very strong but good. Another Spoonie reference. I'm very sorry for the Spoonie references. But yeah, no. Jeremy's best is inept. But also, I want to point something else out here. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
At Jonathan Frostathan super chatted $1.99. Ant handshake Edward Elric, refusing to drink milk.
Yeah, I'm with Edward Elric on that one thing specifically, for sure.
At Mike Manhattan 93 super chatted $2. Star Fox Adventures and Assault were underrated.
Oh, fair enough. I feel like this. I still feel like Adventures. I wish we had the Dinosaur Island game instead. I feel like that would be better. But no, but still, 7 million views. 7 million views on that slop. The Quartering has almost 2 billion views on his channel. 2 billion almost.
At Heavy Systems Inc., super chatted $2. Star Fox gameplay directed by Panzer Dragoon Team?
Yes. 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 Give it to me now. Please. 100%.
At
Put it in my
Eustace Vivo
veins.
super chatted $5. Do his videos really have a point past the first 2 minutes anyway? It's just Brie Larson woke and bad, again and again.
That's the point, isn't it? It's all slop. It's repetitive rage bait. But once the rage ends, there's nothing left. Keep in mind this right here. 2 million views, right? What do these numbers look? What do these viewing numbers look like? Tell me. 11,000, 15,000, 38,000, 36,000, 22,000, 26,000. Further down. 54,000, 79,000, 66,000, you know. You know what? I'll give you this. They're better views than WatchMojo. The Quartering gets slightly better views than WatchMojo. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Still not hitting CinemaSins numbers though.
At L1V3W1R3D super chatted $2. I have no thesis and I must scream.
You have no thesis and you must scream. I love that. That's funny as hell. But yeah, the Quartering's failure. Going back to Aqua here. I gotta go back to a sobbing face I like. The Quartering's greatest failure is that he responded to criticism he should never have responded to. And that's the big thing. He should have never done it. Should have never done it. Yeah, that was his big mistake. That was his big mistake. He could not keep himself calm. That's the reality of it. So often these creators, they hurt themselves in the long run. They shoot themselves in the foot. And it's sad. It really is sad. It's sad because you realize how vulnerable we really are. As creators, you really do. You realize how we as creators, we are very ephemeral on this platform. We aren't really able to maintain a successful career for all that long. Few years, decade. The Quartering managed to last 20 years on YouTube, and he destroyed it in a year. He weathered all this controversy from outside forces, and he couldn't shut the fuck up when he needed to. Do you know why? Because he's arrogant. It is a gift to be a creator online and be successful at it and to have a career with it and to make a living off of it. It's a massive privilege to make massive amounts of money consistently off YouTube, like the Quartering did for so long. And he squandered it. He destroyed it.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $2. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter.
Agreed. Well, that's going to be it for me today, I think. I think we're wrapped up right now, but I am going to send you on your way somewhere else very shortly. Now, before I do that, though, I do want to bring up a little bit of a housekeeping thing. Small housekeeping. This Friday, we are going to have the video on Resident Evil. Now, unfortunately, this video will not be monetized because of just being caught up in copyright stuff. I'm trying to challenge it, but we'll see. So I appreciate everyone donating to this fund because it helps compensate with the video this Friday. That being said, though, I'm going to try challenging it, see what we can do. But still putting the video out because it's fun. And then next week will be my Dick video. My Dick Grayson video specifically. I know. My Dick Grayson video, it will be coming out next week and be fun, hopefully. So yeah. What else can we do now? I think I'm gonna double check to see if there's anyone we can raid. I think if my audience want to raid someone, let's take a look. Who can I raid? Oh, that's neat. Okay. Let's raid him. Okay. Everyone, thank you so much for being on this channel. Get ready for a raid for a surprise channel. Let's see if they're still streaming. They're probably about to end right now, but we shall find out. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.